Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the Scottish National Short Course Championships from the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh. This is our second day, the afternoon session, session 5, where we get to enjoy the younger swimmers mainly who get the opportunity to take part in the events similar to what we had this morning. I'm Robert Taylor. With me is Tony Rose.
Afternoon, Robert.
We were with you this morning if you were with us. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. We'll get the various events on the screen very, very shortly. But good morning, wasn't it, Tony?
Excellent swims this morning. Looking forward to this afternoon swim, as you say. More of the younger swimmers getting a chance to post some times and potentially creep into those A, B and sometimes C finals. So we'll keep you all updated around that as much as we can as we go through the afternoon, just to give you a sense of whether some of these guys will manage to sneak into some of those finals. But it probably is going to be, for most of them, the one swim of the day in this event. So hopefully they can get their tapers right and we'll be in to get some fast swimming this afternoon.
One other thing this afternoon, we have 3 heats of 1500 freestyle which are swam right at the very end of the session.
So please don't go away and leave us before them.
Yeah, those are actually fun events. We'll keep you going in that. You don't, when you listen to live stream in Scotland, you don't get music playing for 15 minutes. You get an enjoyable commentary. You get us for 15 minutes. So yes, by all means go and stick the kettle on and come back and join us during that. But as you can see, our technical officials all resplendent in the new Speedo blue tops and making their way to the boom for our short course. Bottom end of the pool is used for swim down. Once the swimmers have had the swim, they make use of that, as well as the diving pool, which you can see just over on the far side. Those of you who might not have been familiar with the Commonwealth pool, the faraway lane is lane 1. Nearest to us is lane number 8. So,
I don't know about you, Duncan, but Robert, when I look at that little ledge on the middle of the pool, I always get a bit of the heebie-jeebies that somebody's going to just topple over. Pools either side of them.
So there's the afternoon schedule. We have 200 individual medley. It's women, men alternating different types of events. 200 free follows. All the events that are 50 and below, as Tony mentioned, A, B and C finals. There might be an opportunity for maybe a small quantity of these swimmers, if they swim exceptionally fast, to scrape into perhaps a C or maybe even a B final. There were a few that actually got into B finals, not just the C final from yesterday. So you always get 1 or 2 surprises. We'll hopefully have that later on today. And 2 distance events to finish. 400 free for the women, as we've mentioned. 400 freestyle, 3 heats. There is a 4th heat that will be swam in the evening session.
And that will be first this evening, and I definitely would try and tune in at 5:30 this evening for that. You've got Daniel Whiffen, Commonwealth Games medalist, in that final heat of the 1500 against Tony Robinson. So it will be a pretty exciting race, I suspect. So worth coming back at 5:30 for that final heat.
6 from Loughborough in that, and we have 2 Scots, Jack Munsey and Michael Flynn, who potentially may well be contesting the Scottish title. So, as we say,
back to this afternoon.
Back to this afternoon. Our first event is the women's 200 metres individual medley. The swimmers will make their way over to the starting platforms just in a little minute. There you have the angle. That's where they're swimming up to that boom end that Tony is so reluctant to get himself near in case he falls in. Our STO manager coming over, Alistair Shields. So there we have the girls getting ready to take part. So you'll get a caption with the swimmers on the screen in a wee moment. We'll run through the names. In lane 1, Eve Wood from Orkney. In 2, Talia Blackleaf from the City of Glasgow. 3, Alana MacDonald, University of Stirling. 4 is Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow. 5, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow. And in lane 6 and 7, 2 Borough of Stockton ladies. Tatanda Tiryanga, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, and Nadine Wilson. As we mentioned this morning, lots of swimmers from the northeast of England who love coming up here and trying to show that they're better than the Scots, and quite often they do that, Tony.
Indeed, but good to have them here as well.
And we commented those little numbers on the screen, point whatever it is, 73.81. That is the reaction time when the starter goes, take your marks, and the little buzzer goes. The moment they leave the starting blocks, that is how quickly they get off those starting platforms. 0.7 is roughly about a normal average, 0.7, 0.75. So, first turn, Dean Wilson from the borough of Stockton, 14-year-old, going really well in this one, Tony.
Yep, nice start, 31.6, 36.
2 lengths of each stroke.
In the lead, coming out that backstroke, maybe lane 2. Talia Blackley, City of Glasgow, edging up on this backstroke leg. Still pretty close, and still plenty of scope for a ace breaststroker, as often happens in these IMs, to come through in the next 50 metres. But it's still the same leader as was at the 50 fly, and that's Nadine Wilson. 108.45.
You'll notice when the swimmers get to the turn, they have to finish on their back and turn over onto the front on the breaststroke. And this is, as Tony says, where things can change. Got some breaststrokers, 2 City Glasgow girls, Alice coming in 4, Ellie Kennedy in 5. Ellie Kennedy coming through strongly in 5 to hit the front.
And there are 4 of them now. City of Glasgow swimmer in lane 5, as Robert said, Ellie Kennedy, and she's really pulled through from probably 6th or 7th into first on that breaststroke, off and away. Yeah, 153.06.
Another 14-year-old, second at the summer meet, 7th at the national championships. We'll be back in April, and she's that breaststroke's really pulled her through, and you'll see her being caught now. Alice coming, perhaps her teammate in lane 4 might start second, another 14-year-old. Titania is going well. I think she's just going to hang on perhaps for second about a Stockton 15-year-old in lane number 6. And there we have Ellie finishing. Nice time for her.
Over 3 seconds improvement on her entry time. It's exactly the kind of swim you want in these afternoon heats. Some of these swimmers may not have had too much of a chance to swim over the last little while. Not as bad as last year. When we had this meet last year, it was pretty much the first meet for swathes of young swimmers since the COVID lockdown in 2020. So a very different feel to meet this year from last year, when it was really a reintroduction to the pool for a huge number of swimmers. Second heat here, Maya Cheshire from Elgin in 1, Isabel Fox Gateshead in 2, Isla McDonald from Highland in 3, Phoebe Arbuckle, Warren de Swimmer in 4, Macy Huthwaite, Mount Kelly in 5, Cassie Wiper from City of Glasgow in 6, Leona Young from Billingham in 7, and Lily Smith, Ulverston in lane 8. And a strong start from all of the girls, really. Not that much separating them across the pool, although there's quite a lot separating on your screen at the moment. It's gone a bit blank. Oh, there we're back again. That's good.
Lane 8 perhaps.
No, lane 5. Macy Huthwaite just 31.91, so just slightly down on the time in that first heat. And it's now still lane 5. Macy Huthwaite, Mount Kelly swimmer, strong contingent up from Mount Kelly. Down in Devon, I think, I'm tempted to say. One of the schools down that part of the world. Somerset got Millfield School. I think it is Devon with Mount Kelly. Always got a strong pedigree. And a strong swim in lane 1 from other end of the country. Elgin, Maya Cheshire. And it is Maya, 109.68. Slightly down on that first heat swim, but that was an exceptionally fast first heat by Ellie Kennedy. Actually almost as fast as some of the last heat swimmers here this afternoon, but it's very close across the pool. Lanes 1, 3, 5 and 8, and maybe now lane 3.
Yeah, she's got the special here, Tony.
But it's across the 3 of them, Elgin and Highland and Mount Kelly. And down here in lane 8 is Lily Smith from Ulverston. So possibly any one of these four could be taking it. Isla McDonald's going to touch with 50 to go.
153.50. So come back in something like a 34 for a similar time to the previous heat. And, I think maybe another change of leader here, back to lane 5 with Macy. Strong kick off the wall, got plenty of momentum here. Inside the final 10 metres now. It's going to be Macy Huthwaite, 2:30.87. She's going to come a little bit inside that. Good swim, 2:28.42. Isla McDonald under the 2:30, 2:29.66, as was Maya, 2:29.76. So
nice swim, worth the trip for Macy.
Good start for first two heats. Some good swims.
That's the result
early stage
on the screen.
Good swim from the outside lane, Lily Smith, also inside her time. So in lane 1, Zara Smith, Wanderbars, 2, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire, 3. We have Evelyn Alice from Newcastle Swim Team, 4, Ellie Armstrong, East Lothian Swim Team, 5, Annabel Cooper, Chesterley Street, 6, Anna de Grossa from Best, 7, Caris Mooney, City Glasgow, and 8, Katie Rose, Wanderbars. Well, I think, if memory serves, Caris Mooney had a pretty good session yesterday on freestyle. Can she keep us going in the IM? A little bit behind the rest at the early stage. Looks like lane 6 at the moment with the advantage, Anna de Grossa. So swimmer from the borders with the advantage at the moment, 30.91.
Coming in strong now though is Ellie Armstrong in lane 4. No, lane 5, sorry. Annabel Cooper from Chesterley Street. Ellie Armstrong not that far behind her in lane 4, East Lothian swimmer. Katie Rose maybe in 3rd from Warrender in the outside lane in lane 8. Good underwater though there from Anna de Grossa, who was leading after the fly. And it looks like Annabel Cooper, 17-year-old from Chesterley Street, who's just edging the turn at the 200 mark here. And it is 108.31, so pretty much in line with the previous two heats. See who's got the breaststroke. Zara Smith will come back strong, I think, in lane 1. And just see when we get the angle. And it is also lane 2, Evie Mackey coming strong.
Swimmer from Lanark, swimming as South Lanarkshire today, as they all are from that neck of the woods.
So Ellie Armstrong it is. Comes strongly in lane 4, finalist at the Scottish Summer Meet and National Age Groups in this event. And in lane 6, Anna de Grossa. So it's between those two and Evie Mackey in lane 2, as they come in with 50 to go.
Evie Mackey won at the summer meet, but I think she might have to settle for 3rd in this one. Very much between lane 6 and 4. Anna de Grossa maybe just looks the stronger down the final 25. She led early, but it's come through and dominating this one. It's anybody's for second. Evie Mackey's had a very good second half, and she is flying at the end. Can she actually get up? I don't think so, but she gave it everything. 2:28.23. Evie Mackey, good swim at 2:28.82. And Katie Rose from next to nowhere, Tony. I'll be delighted with that swim. 2:28.94. Also improves by best part of 2 seconds. So nice to see those three well under the 2:30 mark.
Good swimming there. Moving into heat 4. Katie Sherlock, Mount Kelly in 1. Kate Kennedy, Morpeth in 2. Kelly Wynne-Jones, Mount Kelly in 3. Casey Drummond in 4. Incus in 5. Niamh Carroll, Tadcaster in 6. Madison Cool from Bucky. 7. Alice Forrest from Derwentside in 8. Lucy Oliver from Darlington. Strong start here in lane 6, Maddie Cool. Youth Academy member. She went at 2:28 in North District's meet not that long ago, so she's got some form coming in here. And 30.41, that's the fastest split. And out there in lane 1, Katie Sherlock. going nicely. So it's these two have already split the field pretty open.
They have indeed. Alison Cool improved on that 2:29.55 at the North District joint meet with the Midlands. Won her in that 2:28.01, and also North District champion. And still has the advantage onto breaststroke. A very strong start, 107.92. So
it's now lane 1 really coming through, looking strong. Katie Sherlock from Mount Kelly.
Eve Carroll in lane 5 also making a move, Tony. Even lane 2, Kate Kennedy not out of it either. Nice turn there for lane 5.
Deceptive angle there.
It is, but Kate on lane 1. Katie Sherlock with the advantage, Tony. She's moving really nicely on that breaststroke section.
That's fantastic. So she's going to turn with 50 to go.
Alice Forrest also travelling very fast indeed into 4th.
Still around the 2:27.8 mark, I would think. Still fastest time is from that first heat with Ellie Kennedy. But that's a cracking second half to this race for Katie Sherlock. I think she's going to take this one. It's about against the clock now.
She's well clear now. In lane 5, Niamh Carroll being challenged by Kate Kennedy in lane 2 for that second place. Kate Kennedy, I fancy, might get up to get second. No doubt about Katie Sherlock taking it. Lane 5, just hanging on Niamh Carroll. It's fastest time so far, 2:26.67.
Outside steamer there, Katie Sherlock.
Yeah.
Niamh Carroll second place, 2:28.67. You'll get that up on your screen in a minute. And in third, Kate Kennedy, 2:28.95.
So another good fast race. And on to our 4th heat. In lane 1 we have Vanna Finlay, Gateshead and Wickham. In 2, Maya Rogers, Wander Baths. 3, Alex McGill, Gateshead and Wickham. 4 is Zoe Crawford from first. 5, Kaja Rickleton from Tadcaster. 6, Lexine McCappin from first. 7, Catherine Bodie from Geary. And 8, Natalie Marshall, Swimless Lothian.
Pretty close on paper this, just over a second between all 8 swimmers. So let's see if that comes and translates into in the pool. So Zoe Crawford in 4, also going strong in 3, Alex McGill from Gateshead. And out there in lane 1, Anna Finlay also from Gateshead, so both of them showing strongly. And it is a Gateshead 1-2, 30.69 for Anna.
Strong start on the far side again. Lanes 3 and 1.
Yep. Teammates from Gateshead. Good turn there for lane 3 from Alex McGill, and she has taken almost a body length off there, and it's in between the wall. Anna Finlay is faster repping and catching her up.
All the 2 Gateshead and Wickham girls off to a nice strong start, 106.10, 106.89. They're well clear of Zoe Crawford, whose backstroke is pretty useful. Let's see what breaststroke brings us. 2 Gateshead and Wickham girls still going well. Anna Finlay, if anything, best of those 2. And then lane 5 coming through, Kaja Rickleton from Tadcaster. Lane 1 looks as though she's got this one well in the bag, Tony.
Very strong breaststroke. As we've said often the way in the IM, it's the breaststroker who comes through strong, and she was up in the lead even before breaststroke. And she's taken nearly 5 metres off her teammate Alex McGill on that breaststroke, 1:48.54. And all of a sudden she's 4 or 5 seconds quicker than the previous heat.
She's got a chance of a B final here. 1:48.20 was the split for the swimmer that got 2:21.56.
It's very good homework, Robert.
So she's got to find something. Well, we do try our best, Tony, don't we? People have been complaining that we've been doing nothing for the last hour. Well, can she get close to it? Well, we can't complain with a 15-year-old doing a 2:24.27.
Great swim.
Over 4 seconds inside her entry time. Well, she doesn't get a swim this evening, but
4-second PB.
She'll be delighted with that. That's what these girls are really aiming for this afternoon. Just a bit of fun and see if they can improve on what they've been doing the last 2 or 3 months.
And I think Anna has definitely managed to do that this morning, afternoon even.
Kirsty Gilmore goes in lane 1 from South Lanarkshire. 2, Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics. 3, Tegan Black, East Lothian Swim Team. 4, Charlotte Thompson, Midlothian. 5, Faye Rogers, Aberdeen Performance. 6 is Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield. 7, Jessica Heaps from Faulthouse Penguins. And 8, Amy McLeod, City of Glasgow. Lane 2, probably just out that little bit faster, Morven Adams, showing that age is no problem at 21 to compete still at this level, and she's gone out extremely fast. She's been swimming well this last couple of days at the meet. 29.91.
First one under the 30, so this may be as close as we're going to get. So,
now she's Midlands champion, Tony, so she's had to put up with not being able to swim in the pool at Dundee. It's been closed for a wee while, like a lot of places around Scotland. Struggling to get pool time as well. Schools closing. It's not difficult, so it's very difficult to get the amount of time they used to have.
Shows how lucky we're here at Edinburgh. As you scan, as the camera scans up the complex, you've got effectively four pools in this one place, with the boom in the middle of this 50-metre pool. You've got the dive pit over there, and then as we scan over into the far right left-hand corner, you've got another pool. It's another 6-lane 25-metre pool. So spoilt to a degree in Edinburgh with this facility, and the plight of Dundee absolutely highlights that. But it's despite all of that, Morven is still in the lead as he approaches the last 15 of this 50 breaststroke. Very strong breaststroke here from Tegan Black, East Lothian swimmer in lane 3. I did wonder if Tegan might be one of the swimmers that could edge close to that 2:21.
Well, I don't see anybody troubling that now, not at 1:49.76. They've got to really come back in sub 32, and that's not going to happen.
But a good race nonetheless.
Indeed.
Don't forget down here in lane 8 as well, Amy McLeod, City Glasgow swimmer. But it's Morven who has been in the lead.
Yeah, she won't want to give this up. Tegan Black is giving everything along with Charlotte Thompson. Well, the two local girls, Tegan and Charlotte, are not going to catch Morven. Well done, Morven. 2:24.56. Another nice improvement. So it takes a couple of seconds off that time. Charlotte Thompson and Tegan Black also inside their entry times, and Amy McLeod from the outside lane also improves as well. So
really good swimming there, Natun by lots of swimmers getting times underneath their entries, and hopefully really pleased with that. I'm sure they'll have some more swims as well over the weekend. We move on to event 222. This is the men's 200 metres freestyle. We have 8 heats here, and just to give you a sense of pace that these guys need to hit, 1:47.4 to get in the A final, 1:49.68 in the B final, and whilst difficult that 1:49.68, I think there's maybe a few folk in that last heat who could push that hard, so we'll wait to see. But in these first heats we have Jake Holmes, lane 1, City of Glasgow, How She from City of Sheffield in 2, lane 3 is James Gordon from Perth City, lane 3 Devon Crichton from Chester-le Street, James Burnett from Warrender in lane 5, 6 Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly, and in lane 7 Mark Innes.
There's a no-show.
There's a no-show. So we have 6 swimmers, and these guys are all entered peppering the 2 minutes, so I suspect getting under that 2-minute barrier will be a big target for them. So we got in here James Burnett, and outside him Marcus Haig. James Burnett won East Districts just recently, Youth Academy member. It's Marcus Haig, turns first, 57.84.
all about getting under 2 minutes for these guys, I'm sure, Tony.
Yep, I think that is absolutely right. We've got still pretty close across the field. Maybe lane 2, How She from City of Sheffield.
This is what you want to see. All the guys the opportunity to take this with 50 to go. Very open contest, 128.72, and less than a second cover the first five.
No one just spotted this. Lane 2 swimmer's 13-year-old How She from City of Sheffield. He's really keeping up with these older guys, and it's still all to play for. Maybe lane 3, James Gordon from Perth City, is just edging ahead. He's got to have a chance under that 2 minutes with a 128 point at the 150. They are all pushing each other on, and it looks like they could multiple times under the 2 minutes, and it is James Gordon 158.
Lovely.
Oh, look at that.
Fantastic.
4 of them under 2 minutes. James Gordon first, 158.75. Second, it's Devon Crichton, 159.42. Third, James Burnett, 159.69. And to complete the quartet of sub 2 minute swimmers, Marcus Haig, 159.88. Shout out for How She, 13-year-old.
Yeah,
2 minutes,
misses
points, 1.6. But you'd like to think at 13
Next
he's got
time
plenty
round
of opportunity to get under that 2 minutes. Very impressive from him.
On to heat number 2 in 1. Jake Gibson from Aberdeen Performance. 2, Callum Gold, Aberdeen Dolphins. 3, Kai Connolly, City Glasgow. 4, Jacob Light from Morpeth. Another Jacob Wood goes in 5 from Elgin. 6, Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics. 7, Nicholas Land, Newcastle Swim Team. And 8, Luke Porteous from Aberdeen Performance.
So on paper, 0.48 between these 8 gentlemen, and on the water, doesn't look like it's much different. Lane 3, Kai Connolly, 15-year-old City of Glasgow swimmer. He's won the West Districts, 3rd at the Scottish Summer Meet, 7th at National Age Groups, junior national squad member, so one of the upcoming stars of Scottish swimming.
Been swimming well lately over in the West Districts, Tony. Like a lot of them, didn't do an awful lot early part of this year, back end of last year, but coming through quite well over the last 6 months. And Jacob Light now takes it up 57.16.
14-year-old Jacob from Morpeth, and he's on that turn, taking a body length. Also lane 7, Nicholas Land, Newcastle swimmer, 14 as well, so a lot of youngsters vying out here. And it looks like it is Jacob Light from Morpeth. And also in lane 6 now, Kane Buchanan. Saw him have a good leg in the end of the mixed medley relay this morning. Good turn shot there for Jacob Light. 127.65, so he's got to be odds on for getting under that 2 minute barrier.
Nicholas Land borderline. The rest of might just miss out in that 2 minutes, but certainly Jacob Light coasting under 2 minutes. Very close for second at the moment.
Yeah, you've got Callum Gold, Kane Buchanan and Nicholas Land. No doubt though that it's going to be Jacob Light, 158.79, so a nice swim for him.
Callum Gold flying at the death, coming back to 30.63 to get under the 2 minutes. A good swim from Jacob, 158.79 as you say, Tony.
Third place, Nicholas Land, 2 minutes 39, so another couple of folk under the magic 2 minutes, and we move into heat 3, which has got the first heat where everyone is entered under 2 minutes. And in this one we have James Lauder, Glasgow University in lane 1, Siddharth Gullen, Warren de Bass in 2, Ed Brown, Annick Dolphins in 3, Zach Slater, East Lothian in 4, Max Pelosi in 5, City of Glasgow, Ruben Kelly, Dumfries in 6, Ben McLaughlin from Gary in 7, and Alex D'Onofrio, Mount Kelly in lane 8. Good start, lane 2, Siddharth Gullen from Warrender. He had a strong 100 yesterday, big over a second improvement I think from memory in that one, and he's going out as well in lane 8, Alex D'Onofrio, Mount Kelly swimmer. And also in lane 5, that's Max Pelosi, a City of Glasgow swimmer. 26.56 for Siddharth. Good start, second, faster than anything we've had before. Senior Academy member, second at the summer meet this year. Ben McLaughlin, who's also in this race, was third in that, behind lane 7. But it's Sidar still at least a body length up on the rest of the field here. And there, it's not Sidar Glennon, that's Max Pelosi, but it's Sidar turns first, 56.11. So he's going to have to really tie up to not get well under the 2 minutes here. He's done a 1:59.4 before, but he's going to smash that unless he really does blow up. And he's got over a body length now, and the person next to him, James Lauder, the Glasgow University swimmer, he's sticking with him, as is lane number 4, Zach Slater, East Lothian swimmer. So 1:26.75. Still a second up.
Can Zach Slater, second at national age groups, come through strongly in the death? He's flying at the penultimate 25, and
all to play for.
It's a good turn from Zach. Might certainly be challenging for the lead here.
He's got the finish. Zach is coming in strong. You can see him really ramping it up. Shoulders high, head down. Oh, and Sidar does touch him though. 1:57.38, 6/100ths ahead of Zach Slater, finishing very fast. And in third place, Alex D'Onofrio. Mike Kelly, 1:58.79.
Another good race.
Fantastic.
Some fast times in
Sidar
that one.
and Zach.
So our next heat, we have Ollie Carter, University of Stirling 1, Anthony Davis, Mount Kelly in 2, Ben Kelly, Warner Bass 3, Louis Lawler, City Glasgow 4, Mika Van Blerk, Warner Bass 5, Edward Bell, Seagulls in 6, Tom Excel, Loughborough University 7, Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire goes in lane number 8.
We have a few missing swimmers, so lane 5, we have no Micah Van Blerk, and in lane 7, no Tom Excel. Do have 6 swimmers.
157s, 158s for this one, Tony. A strong start in lane 3. Ben Kelly. Edward Bell.
Falls away. So Ben Kelly has seen his teammate Sidar just earlier beat his time, so he'll be wanting to make sure he ramps up, gets faster this time round. But it's Lewis Lawler, City of Glasgow swimmer. S14 para swimmer, podium potential. Won this event, British Summer Championships, and he turns first in a 56.64. That's almost up with Sidar in the last heat.
Keep your eye out in lane 1, Ollie Carter, the S10 para swimmer. 2:03.60 is his 200 metres freestyle Scottish record. I think he's going to take a few seconds off this one, Tony. He's going pretty well, might even be in third place at the 150 mark.
So 1:26.91 for Lewis. So Ollie is in on a 1:58, which must be a long course conversion if his short course record is a 2:03. And if he sticks at this pace, he's going to smash that. So it's Lewis.
I don't know if Louis Lawler might actually also get inside the 200 freestyle record. Double check that as well.
This is a cracking swim from Louis. As he comes, he does get inside
that record. That is for Louis Lawler, our new Scottish S14 para record, 1:56.44, and for Ollie Carter, 1:58.61. So not just one, it's like the usual number 22 bus. We've got 2 records, 1:58.91. Well done, Ollie Carter, a new S10 para record, and also Louis Lawler, S14, 1:56.44. Cracking, Tony.
That's us achieved something we only achieved once this morning, which was a Scottish record. We've had 2 in one race, so that's a lot to live up for in this next heat. Ellis Cleworth from Loughborough in 1, Joshua Robinson, Derwentside in 2, Lucas Brown, Elgin in 3, Lewis Hammond from City of Glasgow in 4, Callum Peebles, East Lothian in 5, Luca Arioli, Mount Kelly in 6, Jonathan Ventnor, Perth City in 7, and Gria van der Meulen, Stirling swimming in 8. So Callum Peebles in 5, taking this one out, 25.81. He is the newly crowned Scottish Junior 200 backstroke champion from last night. He's had a good meet. He's really come strong for this meet. Good to see, part of a strong East Lothian swimmers. We're going to see one of his teammates coming up shortly, Luke Hornsey as well. But it's Callum Peebles leading the way in this one. Lane 4, Lewis Hammond, City of Glasgow, keeping up with him. 54.54, so that's quite a bit faster than the previous fastest. So if he can keep this up, we're going to be below 155.
Certainly looks well under 155, Tony. Into time of 157. Being challenged now by Lewis Hammond, City Glasgow.
So do them both good, having each other right next to each other, keeping themselves going. 124.34. So at 29 pace there, you've got to see him coming in at least the 154, I would think, maybe even 153 if he can really nail it. And it looks like it's going to be Lewis who has got the legs in this last 50. He was faster than Callum in that penultimate 50, and he's really shown his pacing here. 19-year-old Lewis, 16-year-old Callum going strong in lane 2 as well as Joshua Robinson, but it is Lewis Hammond, 153.65.
You did think 153 or thereabouts was on halfway through that, and Callum Peebles 155.09, almost 2 seconds faster than his entry time, but 3 seconds faster Lewis Hammond. What a swim.
Joshua Robinson coming in third, 155.36. Nice improvement for him. So all of these heats are going faster than their entry, so you know, so that last heat
got a half a chance, haven't we?
Yeah. And you've got some big swimmers in that last heat, so let's see where we get to, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Max Russell in lane 1 of this heat 6, City of Sheffield, Findlay Club, Aberdeen Dolphin in 2, Benjamin Thorpe from Newcastle in 3, Max Upton, Loughborough University in 4, Matthew Brown, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Nathan Campbell, Stirling Swimming in 6, Magnus Kelly from Mount Kelly in 7, and Finn Bremner, Warren de Baths in lane 8. In the centre lanes, Max Upton, Loughborough University swimmer, turns first, Benjamin Thorpe second, Newcastle swimmer, third is Findlay Club, academy member, has got form in this race through nationals, medaling in a number of finals in the last year, and that was faster than the previous heat as well. And it's a really good start here from Max Upton, the Loughborough Uni swimmer, 19.54.83, so pretty much on a level, slightly slower than the previous heats. However, it's looking strong.
Does indeed. His body length advantage over Magnus Kelly in 5, over in lane 2 and 3, Findlay Club, Benjamin Thorpe together, and Nathan Campbell from Stirling coming through to try and challenge for those minor places. I can't see anybody catching Max Upton now. 124.57. Similar split to the previous heat, Lewis Hammond, so we're probably under the 154 mark here.
Got to get under, get a 29 point for that. Slightly slowing, I think, but let's see. And it's lane 2, Findlay Club pushing hard with Benjamin Thorpe, but also in lanes 5, 6 and 7, Nathan Campbell and Magnus Kelly, but it's a 154.46 from Matt. There's Magnus Kelly in second, he really finished fast there, 30.04 in second, 156.37, and the faster finishing Findlay Club gets third in 156.41.
A good tight contest for the minor places. But, at the moment, no one troubling the judges for a B final. Lane 1, John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance, teammate Jamie Allison in 2, 3, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Warner Bass, 4, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University, 5 is Michael Flynn, City Glasgow, 6, Adam Strickland, Derwentside, 7, Angela Giame Contini from Newcastle Swim Team, and 8, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. Well, Michael Flynn in lane 5 might surprise people, but he's got a lot to do. Adam Strickland, Arthur Logan in 6 and 4 are really flying, especially Adam at the first split, 24.62. Well, if he can beat sub 53, he might be in with a slim chance. Arthur Logan in second.
Still,
I think it's very much if Adam Strickland can keep this going, Tony, to see if he can get close to this B final.
yeah, this is a brave swim from Adam. 52.43. So if he can keep this up, that was him in a 27.8 there. He's still the fastest swimmer in the pool on that second 50. You'd expect the others are going to start creeping back on him. There's a good strong field there.
Here comes Michael Flynn in lane 5, as I suspected, back-ending the race.
Yeah, won the Scottish title for the 1500 last night. He's had a good night's sleep and he's off in this.
Second at West Districts recently.
And he's turned second. Still Adam Strickland, but he's a marked man, I think.
Well, I don't see, unless Michael can find something really super special down the final 25, I don't see him making the B final, but I know that he'll give everything. He's got barely 7 seconds to get there. Just going to run out.
Just ran out of pool, I think.
Yeah.
1:51.01. Fantastic swim for him, though. A couple of seconds up on his entry time. Second, it was Arthur Logan who came strongly there, 1:52.71, and Adam Strickland, the early runner. Third, 1:52.98.
Well, if anything, I did think Michael Flynn might have done the business in that one, but he was out just that little bit slower. He's much better over the longer distance, so understandable. So, final heat. Angus Allison in 1, Matthew Woodall in 2, Rory McKinnon in 3, Josh Denham 4, Jude Leonard in 5, Luke Hornsey in 6, Maxwell George 7, and Liam McLaughlin in 8. 17-year-old Josh Denham fastest in this one. Sorry to see Rory McKinnon. Thought he might have had a chance as well, getting the strong start from 2 boys in the middle lane, Josh Denham. Jude led it.
So no lane 8, no lane 3.
No lane 8.
But it's a strong start from Josh Denham, 25.91, not as fast as the previous heat, but I think Adam Strickland possibly paid for that early pace, so a bit more steady pacing here. Matthew Woodall now maybe in lane 2. He's got Angus Allison in lane 1, who will always give everything for all 8 lengths of the swim in this 200 freestyle, but it is Matthew Woodall, 53.83. So if he's paced this right, he's just in touching distance, isn't he?
He's got to really be finishing the second half extremely strongly, but if he's paced it, he may have half a chance.
He's got Angus on his inside, who's going to push him all the way, so they could help each other.
Indeed.
Lane 5 is Jude Lydiard and Luke Hornsey in lane 6, who won the junior 1500 title last night.
Needs to challenge about 122. Oh, he's there or thereabouts. He's got to fly down the final stretch.
27
is
possible.
Just about possible.
28.3 in that last 50.
Angus Allison really motoring as well in lane 1.
You know, they could do this, you know, Robert.
It's anybody. Angus Allison flying at the death. Angus Allison is going to take this one.
He's going to take it, but is he going to get a 1:49.68? That is the question. I don't think he's going to manage it, but it's still a strong swim. 1:50.36. That's great swimming there from Angus. Second it was Matthew Woodall, 1:50.97. Jude Lydiard in third, 1:51.78. So strong, fast swimming right the way through. Just too much for them to get into that B final.
Yep.
But it shows the quality of the swimming here to not get a have to do a 1:49 to get in the B final is pretty tough going.
Well, Angus was 5th in the B final last year, so that just shows you the quality that we're up against this year, with a wide variety of swimmers coming up and competing at the meet these 3 days. So
moving on though, women's 100 fly. I'm talking of close, just to let you know, the A final you've got to do a 1:01.97. The B final is a 1:04.41. But the C final is only half a second more than that with 104.97. So there are 8 swimmers in that C final within half a second of each other at the moment.
Katie Campbell, Aberdeen Dolphins 1, Millie Northrop, Borough Barnsley 2, Leila Witherspoon, Harton Rolling 3, Lucy de Agrosa from Best in 4, Catherine Bodie, Geary in 5, Emma Craney, Cumbernauld 6, Grace Call from Larne is in 7, and in 8, Leila Pimlott from Mount Kelly, who has gone out very strongly along with Leila Witherspoon. Might be the Hearts girl in 3 with the advantage, 30-64. Well, that might give her half a chance.
She was 3rd at the Scottish Summer Meet in this event, Leila, Youth Academy member. More freestyle sprinter, she won the national age group title at 50 freestyle in the spring. She's showing great form here on the fly. I think she had a good 50 fly yesterday as well. And she's coming strong. Lane 8 as well, which is Leila Pimlott, but it's going to be Leila Witherspoon.
Maybe a 106.
105.82.
Well,
so,
105,
wow, that's
82,
a 2.5 second improvement. She's only 14 this year, and not quite in the C final range, but really not that far off it. So that's good omen for the rest of this event this afternoon. See if anyone else can pick up that baton.
Heat 2, Alice Bailey Hamilton, Mount Kelly 2, Alyssa Lowe from South Aberdeenshire 3, Nadine Wilson, Borough Stockton 4, Emma Finlay, East Lothian Swim Team 5, Annabelle Cooper, Chesterley Street 6, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire 7, Lucy Oliver, Darlington, and 8, Georgia Dickey from Dumfries. 107s for this one, Tony.
Very close, 0.4 between them all on their entries coming in. And see how that goes. Lane 1 looking good in this first 25. Alice Bailey Hamilton from Mount Kelly. Very good turn though in lane 5 from Annabelle Cooper. She swam good race in the 200 IM at the beginning of this session, and she's went off like a rocket in the fly leg of that, and she's done the same here, 31.12. So just half a second slower than Leila in that first heat. Wonder if she's got a bit more staying power. She is powering down this second 50 as well. Next to her, being dragged along, Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire swimmer. And this is a really strong swim from Annabelle Cooper from Chesterley Street. Kirsty Gilmore pushing her hard, second in the Scottish Summer Meet in her age group, and she's really coming in hard. There's 5 metres to go. It's all around the timing here, and I think she may do it, you know, and she does. 106.54, lovely pacing and judgment of a finish there from Kirsty Gilmore, edging out by 1900ths Annabelle Cooper, early leader, 106.73, and in 3rd Georgia Dickey in lane 8, 108.97.
Nice swim from those two girls, getting inside their entry time. We move on to the third heat. Lauren Clark in 1, East Lothian Swim Team 2, Gabby Freeman, Morpeth 3, Leonie Young, Billingham in 4, Anna de Grossa from Best. 5 is Jessica Heaps, Faulthouse Penguins. 6, Felicity Boyle, Mount Kelly. 7, Freya Beaton, City Glasgow, and 8, Great Courtney, East Lothian Swim Team. Times in this, 106s, 107s. And again, those swimmers are really going to go out somewhere sub 30 to give them half a chance. We've got one more heat to follow. That's probably the one where we'll see something in lane 5 rather. Going well is Jessica Heaps from Faulthouse. In lane 2, Gabby Freeman from Morpeth, also up there. Those two almost together, 30.64 for Gabby, 30.68.
Identical split to Leila's first heat.
So a little between the two. It's maybe the Morpeth swimmer just with the advantage, but off the turn, almost turning again together. Jessica Heaps, a much better turn from the Faulthouse girl. Coming through to try and challenge Anna de Grossa for maybe 3rd place. Jessica Heaps looks as though she's got this one. And she has indeed. Nice swim from her. Exactly the
same time as Leila, so she split exactly the same at 50, 30.64, and exactly the same at the end. 105.82. There's a nice neatness to that appeals to me.
Yeah, indeed. So let's see if we can get something special in this last one.
So I think there's a chance we do.
We certainly hope so. Ailey Robertson, South Ayrshire, goes in 1. 2, Rosie Liston, City Glasgow in 2. 3 is Chloe Barn, Midlothian. 4, Daisy Bevan, Mount Kelly. 5, Andrea Cox, Dundee City Aquatics. 6 is Zoe Crawford from First. 7 is Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics. And in lane 8, Rebecca Smith from Aquajets. Morven Adams making sure she gets plenty of swims over the weekend. She's back again.
Yeah, and the form though is Andrea Cox. She had a 103 point at Bucks in November, so that would get her into the final, C final. It would even get her into the B final. And also Ailey Robertson, who's really on form this weekend. She's already won the breaststroke and 50 breast and fly Scottish junior title. She went at 104.28 very recently as well. So
yeah, down at Dumfries. I think that was when I was over at Tokros doing the parameet at the back end of November. So that's only 2 weeks ago, Tony.
So can she replicate it?
Oh, she's off like a train. Over in lane 1. And you see that blue cap of South Ayrshire. That's Ailey Robertson.
So this could be
junior title last night in a couple of events, breaststroke and I think it might have been the freestyle. Ailey Robertson, she's got a slim chance if she can motor down the final stretch.
Yeah.
Daisy Bevan as well, and coming through strongly, Andrea Cox
so
in
it's the
5.
2 who came in with form. Who are now, it's Andrea Cox who's leading this. She did do a 63, low 63 at Bucks, and it's looking like she could replicate that here. And it's those 2 swimmers.
Yeah. Both of them have
rip
half
this
a
field
chance
apart.
Here.
I think they're going to both do it, you know. Yes, they are. 103.17 and 103.88.
Well, both of them get into the final.
The B final.
Potentially both the B final, because 104.41 is the slowest. So I would imagine 104.20ish, 104.30ish would probably be the second slowest. They will then drop into the C final, and these 2 ladies, Ailey Robertson and Andrea Cox.
Good to see.
Excellent. So we've got 2 swimmers who've progressed from this afternoon into an evening swim. 100 back breaststroke now. 6 heats. Nathaniel Reeve at Mount Kelly in 2. Teammate Torben Rowan in 3. Jack Kelso from Morpeth in 4. 5. Callum Aitchison from Bucky in 5. Logan Ward in 6. University of Stirling, and in 7. Charlie Morris from Larne. 110s for all these guys. So 103.18 is a very, very stiff target. And I think we're really talking maybe the last heat before we might get a wee bit excited, Tony.
Well, we're always excited.
We're always excited, but more excited, yeah. Logan Ward, 31.60. Nathaniel Reeve, 31.86. They have the race at the moment between them. It's certainly going well. Is a lad from Stirling University, Logan Ward.
He was in the summer meet earlier on, 18-year-olds. Got 7th in that, Logan. And he's showing some really good form. Just moved on to University of Stirling this year. That's a really good swim for him. And he's going to go under that 110 very, very clearly. 107.59. So that's a fantastic early heat swim for him. And Nathan Reeve, 108.04. And in second there, and in third, looks like 110.11 for Charlie Morris.
Pretty good swims all round there, Tony.
Nice, yeah,
So
good
they're
early
all in
heats.
with 110. Anything close or better, really decent swim.
Yep, just waiting confirmation of that heat. We'll be looking for a manual time, so it doesn't always work with the time equipment, but we were discussing this morning, it's belt and braces, you've got time pad, you've got a button that backs up the time pad, and you've got a stopwatch that sits around somebody's neck. So all three of those, they look to synchronise, and if there's something not looking quite right from the order that they've had with the pad, they'll check against the button and the manual. And that's why they've done it this time, because it's actually an improvement for Nathaniel Reeve down to 1:7.62. So that was worth hanging around for. Into the second heat. Thomas Traynor, South Lanarkshire in 1, teammate Robbie Carlyle in 2, Finlay Nelson, Dumfries in 3, Jasper Hall, Newcastle in 4, Logan van der Meulen, Stirling Swimming in 5, Michael El Safi, Billingham in 6, How She, City of Sheffield in 7, and Matthew Scott from Newcastle in lane 8.
Logan van der Meulen and Finlay Nelson, second and third on their entry times at the recent West District meet. Logan van der Meulen, winner at the summer meet, has gone out well in lane 5, and those two at the moment just have the advantage. The Stirling lad, both of these 15-year-olds. Also well there is Michael Mustafi in lane 6. Michael from Billingham. Logan 31.85. Fairly similar split to the last one. All these lads just basically under the 110 apart from 2 outside lanes. The Stirling boys well clear on this one, Tony.
He's had a really good swim, Logan, 15-year-old, and he'll be looking to get under that 109.17. As you said, he was second in the West Districts and Scottish Summer Meet winner.
Thomas Traynor finishing well.
107.33, so lots of good improvements again. Nearly 2 seconds for him. Second, Michael El Safi gets second place in a 109.25, and in third, Thomas Traynor, 109.38. So again, all three swimmers improving on their entry time. Can't ask for more than that. As we move into heat 3, Dylan Gosden, Marlborough in 1, Brandon Aitchison, Bucky in 2, Finn Bremner, Warren de Bass in 3, Jake Holmes, City of Glasgow in 4, Roman Wallace, Borough Barnsley in 5, Borough Stockton's Ben Swan in 6, Marcus Haig, Mount Kelly in 7, and Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow in lane 8. Fastest qualifier Jake Holmes, I should say, second in the Scottish age groups earlier in the year. Scottish Academy member, Senior Academy member I should say. And it's hard to tell, really, not a lot between the 7 swimmers, lane 1 through to lane 7.
I think there's a boy from Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, Rowan Wallace. No, it's not, it's Marcus Haig, just by 500s, 51.57, 51.62.
Entry times of these 7 is 0.35 a difference, so it's not surprising, it's pretty close, and it maybe is just lane 7 and pulling away. Marcus Haig turned first at the 50.
14-year-old from Mount Kelly, and, nice turn, and also well out the turn is Roman.
It's going to be Marcus, I think.
Finn Bremner trying to also get into the picture. I think you'll have to settle for third, but lane 7, 5 and 3 is the finish order. Marcus, Roman and Finn. And fastest so far.
Yeah, 107.07, 107.99, and Finn Bremner 108.05. So again, top 3 swimmers all getting improvements on their entry.
Heat number 4. 1, David Smith from Glenrothes. 2, Jacob Duncan, Highland Swim Team. 3, Oliver Dodsworth, Newcastle Swim Team. 4, Robson Miles, City of Glasgow. 5, Jack Mitchell from Aberdeen Performance. 6 is Royce Crongelis. 7, Gavin Roberts. 8, Adam Scott, all from the City of Glasgow. 107s again in this one, so barely a second cover the whole field. Good start in lane number 4. Robson Miles might just be the slight advantage at the moment.
He has
second
in the
summer meet. Yeah,
there you
indeed.
go. Synchronised commentating there.
Indeed. So it is City of Glasgow swimmer just with the advantage. We have that unique arrow formation where they're actually swimming to their times or their positions. And it's advantage still with Robson, 31.18. We're going a little bit faster as we go through the heats.
Still the arrow with 1 length to go.
You might get more excited, Tony.
Oh,
We
if
can
that's
hardly wait.
possible.
Yeah. Because what we want is 4.536.2718, but we won't get that.
No. But we'll have to make do with a very good swim
very good
from Robson Miles, and he comes in at a 106.54. So again continues the improvements on times for the first rated people. Second, Royus Kringelis, 107.57, and in third, Oliver Dodsworth, 107.66. Pretty close there with Jack Mitchell not far behind. So another fast winner of that heat in Robson Miles.
So 1, we have George Clough, Glasgow University. 2, Alexander Williams from Ealing. 3, Scott Quinn, Edinburgh University. 4, Lewis Bailey, Aberdeen Performance. 5, Joseph Martin, Derwentside. 6, Max Twining, Marlborough. 7, Conor Mitchell, Warner Bass. And 8, Lewis Gray, Inverclyde.
We have an outside steamer here. Look out for George in lane 1. Has been a World Junior finalist in his time. He's stopped swimming for a while, but he's back at City of Glasgow and Glasgow University, and training a few times a week and coming back into the sport, which is great to see. But it's lane 6, Max Twining from Marlborough, who's taking this one out. Next to him, Joseph Martin and Conor Mitchell. That's the Warner swimmer, youngster at 15. So it's Max 30.81.
Scott Quinn making a wee move in lane 3 as well, Tony.
Yeah, world gold medalist. So this is a good field.
Here's Quinny coming.
And it is Scott Quinn who's coming through strong. And it's Scott Quinn and Conor Mitchell and Lewis Bailey. So it's a mixture of youth and experience in this one. And it's the experience at the moment of Scott Quinn, Paralympic medalist, who's going to take it, I think. Oh, he's just edged out by 1/100th of a second. Yeah. 106.07 for Joseph Martin first. Second, Scott Quinn, 106.08. And in third, it is the 15-year-old Conor Mitchell, 106.98. So a very, very close race there. Just there or thereabouts their entry times, and we move into this final heat. A few swimmers missing here.
2 older guys just beating the youngster there.
Yeah, but that's good experience for Conor Mitchell. Indeed. You can say he's raced Paralympic champion and a World Junior finalist, and beaten one of them and only just beaten by the other.
Royce's older brother, Marius Kringelis, goes in 1 from Edinburgh University. 2, Mika van Blurk is in lane 2. In fact, no Marius. 3, Piers Greening, University of Stirling. 4, again, no lane 3. Oh, having a bad time here. Arthur Llewellyn. At least he's in lane 4 from Loughborough University. Aidan Fothergill from Edinburgh University. 5, Max Morgan in 6 from Reed School. 7, Murray Pritchard, City of Glasgow. And 8, Harper Whitehead, University of Stirling. That is off extremely strongly, 29.46.
Tough ask, 103.18. And we'll see where we get to. You've got a nice blank swimming pool in front of you there, and here we go. And he's really, really motoring here. Do you know, I think there's a chance he could do this, Robert.
Chance, yeah. That would round.
I mean, he's got a couple of body lengths.
Seconds for that length, but if he can get this motoring and get the arms right position, and doesn't waste anything, I think we've got another one.
We have 102.68.
We've got it. Yeah, well done.
What we like to see.
Well done, Harper.
So 3 seconds, nearly 3.5 second improvement for Harper Whitehead, and he swims himself
into C final.
Into a C final. Great swimming there. Arthur Llewellyn second, 105.09. Micah Van Blurk, 105.66 in third place. So another swimmer creeps into the finals, which is fantastic to see. It's not all about getting into these finals, but it does give the afternoon session a bit of spice, and it shows that these guys have tapered well, prepared well, and come in with a fairly relaxed swim in the afternoon, not much pressure. Into a final they go. And we move on now to the women's 50 freestyle.
Ladies splash and dash.
Indeed. Anna Chachenko, City of Glasgow in lane 3. Orla McInnes, Heart of Midlothian in 4. Sarah Stewart from Mulgrime Bearsden in 5. Rebecca Shulman from University of Stirling in lane 6.
28-20 and 28-21. Do you think they'll be pretty close in this one?
Well, on paper, there is not even a paper width between them.
Well, McInnes might just have the touch, or it's tight between her and Rebecca Shrewden.
Very, very close here. Orla, 15-year-old Orla, 19-year-old Rebecca Schulman, and who gets it is Orla, 27-37. So already we've got somebody getting nearly a second improvement on their entry time. That's good for both Rebecca and Orla. So it's good to see. Into heat 2. Chloe Philpott, Derwentside in 1, Katie Palmer, Cheslow Street in 2, Katie Lowe, Glenrothes in 3, Anna Finlay from Gateshead in 4. 5 is Maya Reynard from Aberdeen Dolphins, Millie Colvin, Dumfries in 6, Emily Burrell, Darlington in 7, and Emily Land in lane 8 from Newcastle.
28.04 to 28.16, 12 hundredths. There's not going to be much between any of these in these heats.
No.
Lane 4 and lane 1 going well. Anna Finlay, Chloe Pluntlot over in lane 1.
And it's, I think we'll just let the time system work out who's going to win this one, but it is between lanes 1, Chloe Philpott and Anna Finlay in 4.
Lane 1, 4 and 2.
20,
well, 4, 2 and 1.
27.66 winning in lane 4. Dead heat.
Dead heat for second.
27.93 lanes 1 and 2.
Smidgen faster than the previous heat.
It's great swimming there.
Oh, nice to see those three under the 28-second mark. We're into heat 3. Molly MacArthur, Jessica Beaton, Megan Park, Lucy Lucas, Sophie McClure, Skylar Frieden, Hannah Johnson and Sophie Duran. 27.90 to 28.03. 0.13. And reaction time all pretty level. No lane 1. It's almost 6th in a line here. Still 6th in a line.
Oh my.
Still 6th in a line. Tony.
Lane 3 calling it Megan Park, Annick Dolphins, and also in lane 6 maybe Sky Frieden. Oh,
sorry about that. Megan Park.
I think Megan did get it, but we've had a bit of a.
That was a bit of.
We'll just wait for that one to be confirmed.
Lane 3, 27.59. 3 of them under that 27 mark. So on to heat 4. Amy Hearn, Madison Cool, Alana McDonald, Emily Maxwell, Emily Cumming, Katie Taylor, Daisy Bevan and Anna Lawson. 27.70 to 27.90. Oh, big range in this one, 0.2.
Absolutely. And good start from them all. And not a lot between them. Maybe lane 1, Amy Heron, Tynemouth, looking strong. Lane 5 as well, Emily Cumming from Kinross. And that's Emily in shot there, and they picked well. Lane 5, Emily Cumming is going very strong. Katie Taylor in lane 6 as well, coming back, and in lane 4, Emily Maxwell. But I think it's going to be Emily Maxwell who takes it, and it is 27.42. Good swim from her. Emily Cumming second, 27.69, and Katie Taylor coming in well at the end there, 27.89. So yeah, all peppering the 27 middles.
Yeah, she's the oldest swimmer, Katie, this afternoon. The only one over 20, veteran at 22.
So that's a bit scary.
It is a bit, yeah.
Quickly, swiftly move on from that into the next heat. Lucy Oliver in 1, Grace Ado in 2, Isabella Abernethy in 3, Amber Stevenson in 4, Jamie Lee Tyson in 5, Kirsty Breakin in 6, Eve Wood in 7, and Julie Dunn in lane 8.
27.5, 27.7, so again a massive range of 0.2 in this one.
And it's maybe lane 5, so that's Jamie Tyson, Galveston swimmer. All very close really. Lane 8 maybe, Isabel Wood.
Lane 2 coming through strongly as well. You're maybe right. Lane 8 from lane 5 and 2. Well, that's what it is. 27.24, 27.48 and 27.61. Julie Dunn in lane 8. Sneaks in, South Ayrshire swimmer from Jamie Lee Tyson Grace do.
So 20, what is the time to get in a
26.70.
26.
Eva Aguirre, Ellie Falls, Amelia Mardell, Mia McLeod, Katie Rose, Paige van der Westhuizen, Ella Murray, and Isabel Wood. Maybe a wee chance in this one, 27.30 to 27.50. So again,
Possibly.
0.2. No lane 4.
Good start, lane 6.
Was a cracking start.
Paige van der Westhuizen from University of Stirling. Pretty close across the rest of them, but Paige really has attacked this one, and she's already half a body length up. I think it's going to be her. And also in lane 3, that's Amelia Mardell.
Not quite.
27.06.
We're nearly getting
there. We are
there.
edging closer and closer. Second it was.
Well, that was roughly
Amelia Mardell.
Yeah, that was 0.31 faster.
Wood.
So 0.31 for Layla Weatherspoon would give her.
So Layla is swimming well. We know that. She had a great 100 fly earlier on. I think Ashley Drake last night won a 26.9 in the relay first leg.
Maddie Wood, Grace Noonan, Ashley Drake, Layla Weatherspoon, Imogen Sargent, Jessica Heaps, Arabelle Ward, Kate Kennedy.
Good feeling about this. One of these girls, I think, is going to go a 26.7.
Fastly up is Ashley Drake in 3, Layla Weatherspoon in 4. Over on the far side, Mary Wood, lanes 3 and 1 with 4 close behind. Ashley Drake.
Strong swim there.
Going extremely well. The Wonder girl, 15-year-old. Can she sneak in? She's got the only chance, I think. Going to be pretty tight. Well, she was the one that I thought might just get the win, but not quite good enough.
Good improvement on time. Exactly the same as she split last night in the first leg of the mixed freestyle relay. The member of the winning Scottish junior national team. Just missing out on a C final, but good swimming nonetheless. Layla Weatherspoon, 27.18, second, sorry.
And just the one swimmer under that magic 27 mark, that local Ashley Drake.
So, another splash and dash, men 50 back. And we have 8 heats here.
Well, we only had to find 0.3 of a second for the 50 metre freestyle. We've got basically a second, just a shade over a second. Greer van der Meulen in lane 8, heat 8 is the fastest of the afternoon swimmers, 27.35. So he's got to find over a second.
Yeah.
So
let's see how that goes, but plenty of swimmers to do nice PBs before then. Lewis Dubbeldam, Durham City in lane 3 in this heat. Fergus Curry, Mulgai and Bearsden in 4. And in 5, Tom Armitage from Highland.
So in the middle lane, Fergus Curry off to a good start. Dubbeldam in lane 3 on the other side. You'll see the camera angle on lane 4. And turn about 8 metres out the water. Fergus Curry, 29.10. Let's see how much he improves that by. 28.44. Good swim from Fergus. It was in fact a good swim from all lads. Good to see Louis also under the 29, 28.89. Tom 29.38. Very close to his entry time.
Into heat 2, Connor Christophorus in 2, Magnus Bildo, Shetland in 3, Logan Ward, University of Stirling in 4, Isaac Jones, Mike Kelly in 5, Reuben Kelly, Dumfries in 6, and Kyle Mitchell, Gary in lane number 7.
28.77 to 29.07 are the ranges of times in this one. You see the swimmers all getting ready. Toes have to be on that pad that you see. And we're off with our second heat. They start in lane 5 and also there in lane 4. Logan Ward, Isaac Jones in 5. So the Geary lad, Kyle Mitchell, Yellow cap. This near side going well. Nice wee
turn,
turn from
4.
him.
Logan
Not
Ward
anybody's
there.
here.
I think it's going to be Logan actually, lane 4. Looks like he's just coming in the strongest. 28.47. So that's 3/10 improvement.
So the first 3 all under 29. Heat 3, Max Twinning in 1 from Marlborough. 2, Lex Garrett, South Ayrshire. 3, Robson Miles, City Glasgow. 4, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. 5, James Wheatley, Mount Kelly. 6, Jack Docherty, Simpson, Scotia. 7, Noah Ragg, City Sheffield. And then 8, Conor Myers, Taunton Dean. 28.61 to 28.75. The entry times in this one. And, surfacing pretty late in lane 3. There's Robson Miles. On the far side in 1 and in 5 and in 8. Well there.
I think it's lane 5 maybe, James Wheatley. Also going well in lane 2, Lex Garrett. But I think it's going to be James Wheatley, Mount Kelly swimmer. Very strong finish there, 27.99. So nice 0.6 of a second improvement for him. Jack Docherty Simpson, 28.46 in second. And in third, it was Lex Garrett, 28.59.
Fourth heat. Finlay Davis, Midlothian in 1. 2, David Landman, City Glasgow 2. 3, Robbie Thompson, Shetland 4. Adam Ritchie, University of Stirling 5. Ethan Alpris from Ulverston 6. Cameron Dorn, City Glasgow 7. Logan Jackson from Aberdeen Performance, and in 8, Ethan Stewart from South Lanarkshire. 28.50 to 28.60, so next to nothing on entry times in this one.
Full complement of swimmers, I think.
It's that way.
Fastest qualifiers Adam Ritchie from Warren to swimmer now at University of Stirling.
Time of 28.50 comes from these districts probably about a year ago now.
That's right. He had a good 100 free yesterday. His second and a half improvement on his entry time, so he's possibly in good form. And he comes out in lane 1 though. It's Finlay Davis, a Midlothian swimmer. He was one that was Scottish Summer Meet 50 backstroke in his age group, 16-year-old. So he's got a strong chance, you'd think. And it's him and Adam Ritchie. And it's going to compete for this one. And in lane 5, Ethan Allpress from Ulverston. I think it's lane 1. It's not. Ethan Allpress, 27.59. I don't think that time from Adam Finlay Davis is the time he will end up with.
Just when you saw the camera angle there, everyone watching, you'd see Finlay stretch, arm down the way, feet up in the water. Maybe didn't hit the pad hard enough, but we have things like the backup buttons, as Tony's mentioned, and also stopwatch. So I'm sure our officials will double check that.
Yeah, just hearing that's getting checked. As we said, back to the belt and braces. We're getting a manual time. Pads haven't worked quite right.
The officials always, if they're happy that lane 1 was the winner, they'll want a time to put that swimmer in position 1 rather than position 3. And people behind the scenes will probably be aware that lane 1's possibly backup time from the backup button has actually placed them in that position, so they'll just want to verify it with the time from the manual time on the watch. At 27.56, Ethan Alpris we think was second. Adam Ritchie 27.66.
There we go. Finlay Davis 27.33. That feels about right. So that is 1.3 second improvement for Finlay Davis. That's a really strong swim from the 16-year-old.
As you say, there we have it. 27.33. Exactly a second out from getting into the C final, but a cracking swim though. Jack Simpson in 1, Benjamin Cross 2, Joseph Edgar in 3, Aaron Morgan in 4, John Mackay 5, Jacob Light 6, Alex De Ferrino in lane 7, and teammate Thomas Parrott in lane number 8. 28:36 to 28:48 are the times entered. So looks like lane 5 perhaps best start. John Mackay from University of Stirling. It's just a slight advantage. It's very tight off the turn. Also a nice turn in lane 7 from Alex Dionofrio. I think Alex might indeed be coming through to take that one. Oh, it's tight. Very tight indeed, Alex. Dionofrio 28:10. John Mackay 28:27. Between them, Jacob Light 28:39. And unfortunately, disqualification in lane 1 for technical infraction.
Next heat, Martin Fiala, Larne in 1, Jacob Elwell, University of Stirling in 2, Owen Williamson, East Lothian 3, Blake Hooper, Chesterfield Street in 4, Jacob Wood from Elgin in 5, Carrick Thompson, Isle of Man in 6, Adam Scott, Wren's 96, and in 7, Ethan Williams, Newcastle in 8.
Uh, 28:13, 28:32. Again, the range in this one. Looks like we've got to try and find almost 2 seconds. So very big ask. Let's see how many can get under 27. Sorry, can get under 28 really, Tony, in this one.
Yeah, it's a big ask. But we've had a second and a half PB already in this set of heats, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Lane 2 maximising that 15 metres, surfacing around 13.5. Jacob Yule. Still out the turn, you see lane 2. Oh, yeah. Again, cracking turns. It's lane 2 with the advantage. Jacob Owen Williamson second, and maybe in lane 7, Adam Scott in third. 27 dead.
We're getting closer.
Yeah. Very, very good swim there from Jacob Owen. 27.28. Adam Scott a bit further back in 27.69. So 4 of them under that 28-minute mark, 28-second mark rather.
Into heat 7, Callum Peebles, East Lothian in 1, Ben Hartridge, Tynemouth 2, Scott Mitchell, Glenn Rothis in 3, Dylan Cashmore, South Ayrshire in 4, Jack Lorimer, Ethan in 5, Edward Bell, Seagulls in 6, Logan van der Meulen, Sterling Swimming in 7, Jackie Chan, Mount Kelly in 8. He's starting the 27 points here. Callum Peebles, lane 1, did get the junior title in the 200 back. Let's see how these guys go. Starts there, very fast, and it is lane 1 and maybe lane 4. Dylan Cashmore from South Ayrshire. I think they're also going strong in lane 8. Jackie Chan from Mount Kelly, 15-year-old. It's very close across the field though, isn't it?
Just be lane 8, lane 1. Callum Peebles flying at the death. Callum Peebles has got this one.
27.54. Good swim for him. Half a second PB. Second it was Logan van der Meulen, 27.79. Third Scott Mitchell, 27.8. Into the final heat.
Robbie Boyd, Wonderbass 1, Ryan Broadley from the Brocken 2, 3, Rhys Blackett, Newcastle Swim Team 3, Greer van der Meulen, Stirling Swim 4, Matthew Mahoney, Newcastle Swim Team 5, Jamie Waller from Heart of Midlothian in 6, that's a surprise again, back swimming, Ewan Beatty, Wonderbass in 7, and Finlay Strachan, Glasgow University in 8. Well, nice to see Jamie Waller back competing in the pool after being out for a while. As you said, George Clough back enjoying his swimming, so yep. Fingers crossed for Jamie.
So here we go,
And Jamie Waller off to a very strong start.
Very strong
lane
start,
6,
lane
Van den Mullen in 4 also nicely
lane
there.
1, Robbie Boyd. It's against those guys. Good underwater from lane 6, Jamie Waller. Wow, that's 14 metres, I would say. As you said, Robert, the less you do on top of the water, the better. It's lane 4.
I think just gets there.
27.03. Second it was Robbie Boyd, 27.19. Good improvement for him. And in third, Finlay Strachan at the other side of the pool, 27.22. Jamie Waller, after all his underwater efforts, 27.28. So that's another event completed. Moving on now, change of pace. It's the women's 200 breaststroke.
That's
5 heats here.
For those of you watching us, that's one of the key things that we keep on harking on, and coaches would like you to try and maximise those turns. And by all means, look at that live stream again, swimmers, and just see how some of these swimmers get that maximum distance off the wall.
It's awfully tricky with backstroke, getting water up your nose.
You do.
I can tell you. So it's an art to keep blowing slowly out through your nose while swimming underwater. It's not easy.
So on to the first of the heats of 200 breaststroke. 5 heats in lane 3. Taylor Smith from St Thomas. 4, Hannah Stahl from Cooper and District. 5, Amy McAlone from Ren 96. And in 6, Eva Kirkham from First. 250s and 251s in this one, Tony. So after all that splash and dash, a bit more sedate pace to look forward to. 37.01.
Yeah.
It's all about getting sub 250 for these girls, I'm sure.
And, like it's lane 4.
Oldest swimmer, 17-year-old Tana Stahl in this one, with the advantage at the moment. So approaching the halfway, the Cooper swimmer, Tana Stahl, with that slight advantage, turning in 1:20.26. So another couple of 45s would comfortably get her inside that 250 mark. Taylor Smith now putting in a challenge in lane 3. The 2 girls are still all very tightly bunched. Nothing between those. Stahl 8th at the summer meet. Taylor Smith, the recent Midlands champion, that's where that time comes from, the 15-year-old, 250.79. Also one of the North District age group where the Midlands joined forces with the North due to lack of pool availability for holding their district meets. They're going up there, sometimes sharing the pool, which is good to see. Good competition for the North District swimmers as well. Eva Kirkham from First.
Looks like it's between these two now. Eva's held in there. She was behind in the first 100 and she's stuck at it. 16-year-old.
9th at the summer meet, and her time comes from West District where she finished 5th at the short course. Can she get into the lead at the death? Taylor Smith still looks as though she might just sneak this one. Oh, it's on the touch here. Very much on the touch, wasn't it? 247.82, 247.95. Both girls were pleased to get well under that 250 mark.
Nice swim.
Well done, Eva and Taylor. On to heat number 2 in 1. Caris Mooney, City Glasgow. 2 is Beth Richardson from Tynemouth. 3, Katie Caldwell, Mulgine Beerstead. 4, Sydney Boyd, Midlothian. 5, Emily Jackson, Newcastle. In lane 6, Zara Smith, Wanderbass. 7, Hannah Wakeland from City of Sheffield. And in 8, Erica Watt, Arta Midlothian. Times everyone apart from the outside lanes just under the 250 mark. 249s 250s.
Starts here. Won't start shaping up. Oh, good shot. Coming into the wall there. See the pads moving as they touch them with some force. And it's still pretty even across at least 6 of these girls, maybe lane 3. Katie Caldwell, Mulgai and Bearsden. She's coming through in first. Second it was Karis Mooney out there in lane 1, and Hannah Wicklin here as well. But it's like it is lane 3, Katie Caldwell. She was 4th at the West Districts in this event. And showing good form in the first 100 here.
Hannah Wicklin in 7, making a move. It's all pretty close behind Katie Caldwell. The rest, 4 of them almost in a line. Karis Mooney coming through along with lane 7, Hannah Wicklin. Katie Caldwell about a second advantage, 1:19.04. So can she get close to 2:45, 2:46? Well, whole pack coming through very strongly. Sydney Boyd not out of it either. Midlothian swimmer, she's turning 5th, but if she can find a bit over the last 75 or so.
Also coming through now, Zara Smith in lane 6. She was a B finalist in the 50 breaststroke last night. It's only just behind Ailey Robertson for that junior title. And she's clumbing through, but it's still Katie Caldwell, Karis Mooney, Zara Smith, 0.5 between the 3 of them. Going to be in for a good, exciting finish here as they approach the last turn. And it is spread across the pool. Those 3 girls, Karis Mooney, Katie Caldwell, Zara Smith there on the turn on the screen. The cameraman's gone for a gamble in lane 6 to win it, but I don't think it's going to be Zara. I think it's going to be either one of Karis Mooney or Katie Caldwell.
Wonder if Karis Mooney's timed this perfectly, Tony. She might have done so. It's tight. No, it's a Mulgai and Bearsden girl that just hangs on. And she did hang on. 2:46.80, 2:47.08 for Karis. Zara Smith, 2:48.43.
All improvements on their entries there. Nice to see. But Katie Caldwell kind of took that on at the 100 or the 50 and just kept going.
Both of swimmers inside are pretty close to their entry times. On to heat number 3. Niamh Kay in 1 from Darlington. 2, Ailey McNair, Mulgai and Bearsden. 3, Maya Cheshire from Elgin. 4, Ellen McPhew, Oldhouse Penguins. 5, Lauren Anderson, Swim West Lothian. 6, Georgia Lee from the Borough of Barnsley. In 7, Ella McGeorge, Cooper and District. And in 8, Casey Campbell, the Borough of Stockton. 2:48s for all these girls. Very level start from all. We just lane 6, Georgia Lee. On the far side, Niamh Kay.
So there's Georgia, but still pretty close up this first. Up to the turn for the first 50. Maybe Georgia and Ella McGeorge from Cooper. Georgia. And it is Niamh Kay, 36.43. They're in lane 1. Still pretty close across the field.
Whole field all well positioned here. Anybody could make a charge.
Nice shot there of a turn. That'll be nice for Niamh to look back on this live stream. She might want to turn the volume down, but she can have a look at that nicely. But it's lane 6. Still Georgia Lee in lane 7, Ella McGeorge. who are both taking this one out. 1:18.77.
Ellen McPhee making significant headway in lane 4. Now into 3rd place. She's had her troubles, Ellen, over the last couple of years. Performed very well as a 13-year-old now, a couple of years down the line. Trying to get back to where she was. And, she's in the mix here. Georgia Lee still has the advantage. But Ellen McPhee still plugging away along with Ella McGeorge to put in a challenge with 50 to go. The race is certainly on. Georgia Lee, Ella McPhee, Ella McGeorge. Well, there's half a second between the two. Slightly better turn from Georgia.
But Ellen has got the momentum, I think. As she comes up, she's going to time this perfectly. She's got 25 to go, and it's the first time that she will have led at a turn across the whole of this 200.
It's tight. There's 3 in a row.
Oh, good turn out there from lane 7. And maybe it is Ellen, though. That does look like she's got the momentum.
Ella McGeorge also flying. Ella McGeorge might just get this one from Ella McPhee.
It's going to be very tight, and I think you're right. It's going to be Ella, and it is.
Well done, girls. 2:45.99 from Ella. 2:46.17. Ella McPhee will be chuffed to bits with that as well, and Georgia Lee also 2:46.84. Cracking swim for that one, and some nice PBs there, a couple of seconds or more.
Yep.
Excellent to see that. Heat 4, Lucy Nimmo, Bellsill Sharks in 1. 2, Cara Wimble from Reed School. 3, Cassie Wiper, City of Glasgow. 4, Risha Goodbrand, Ethan. Then 5, Leah Bullock, South Lanarkshire. 6, Evie Palmer-Jones, Tadcaster. 7, Sophie Portier from Warner Bass. 8, India Washer from Mount Kelly. Times in this one, 2:47s. So we've had a 2:45.99 and a couple of 2:46s. Good start in lane 8. India Washer.
Lane 1 as well. Lucy Nimmo.
Yeah, Lucy Nimmo's been performing pretty well at West Districts recently. And out pretty well, 36.60, the Bellsill swimmer. So 3 girls almost together at this early stage. It's still at early days. There's another 3 within striking distance. Cassie Wiper and Leah Bullock, South Lanarkshire and City of Glasgow in those blue caps. Far side might still just be Lucy Nimmo, having to do it on her own, as does India Washer. 2 turning almost together. It's advanced in the middle lane. Alicia Goodbrand, 1:18.69.
They're all 3 of them are spaced out far enough that they're all pretty much having to do it on their own, I think. I don't know how aware they will be of each other. Depending which way at the turns, they'll maybe get a look if they turn the right way. Yep, so India Washer will be very aware of Alicia Goodbrand in 4. Just about see over to lane 8 with Lucy Nimmo, 15-year-old Lucy, 16-year-old Lisa, and 14-year-old India. And it's India just being edged out by Alicia. 2:01.69. So that's faster than the previous.
I think swimmer going very well. 4th at Scottish Nationals and 4th at the summer meet. Lucy Nimmo still within striking distance on that far side. Advantage in 4. The other 2 girls in the outside lanes turning virtually identically together. Better turn from India has got her in pole position for 2nd at the moment.
Looking at 2:45, 4:45 pace here if she can keep this going. And it's still close, but I think Alicia is going to take it home. And it's at 2:45.49.
Yeah, Missinimo just gets into second place ahead of India Washer. Good swims. Some nice PBs for those three.
Yep. Let's see. Wait for the result to be confirmed on your screen.
Let's wait for that one to be confirmed, as Tony says. Unfortunately, we've just discovered disqualification in lane 1 for technical infraction, the Belsill girl. So that promotes Cassie Wiper, City Glasgow, into third place. Also promotes India into second place. So into our fifth heat. 1 is Sarah McNaughton from Warner Bass. 2, Catriona Stewart, Western Bartonshire. 3, Kasia Rickleton from Tadcaster. 4, Isabel Munnock from Tynemouth. 5, Ellie Kennedy, City Glasgow. 6, Lexine McCappin from First. 7, Rebecca Cole, South Lanarkshire. And 8, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison from Derwent side. Lots of youngsters in this one. The veteran being Catriona Stewart at 17 from Western Bartonshire, who's gone out very nicely in lane 2. Well, there is Ellie Kennedy, City Glasgow. Catriona, I think, maybe just takes it 36.60 after this first split.
Ellie, 14-year-old, won the Scottish Summer Meet up in Aberdeen earlier in the year. Third in our national age group final in April. And so she is pushing on with Katrina in 2 and also in 4, Isabel Munnock from Tynemouth. So the youngster Ellie just starting to ease herself to the front of this field, but it's close as well with lanes 7 and 8. Rebecca Cole from South Lanarkshire, and in lane 8 we have Evie O'Halloran Hutchison from Derwent side, and it is Isabel Munnock though just ahead in lane 4, but it's really nothing between 4 swimmers here. 1:18.23 at the halfway mark, so just slightly faster than previous heats. See who's got the legs in this final half of this race, and really could be any one of these 4 swimmers. Great turn though there from the youngest of them all in lane 5, Ellie Kennedy, and down here in lane 7, Rebecca Cole from South Lanarkshire. And it is nip and tuck, 50 to go. Ellie this time turning, but only 15/100ths of a second ahead of Rebecca Cole.
Catriona Stewart just dropping back a little bit, much better over the shorter distances, but giving everything in the 200. Another cracking race, Tony.
Yeah, it looks like Ellie though.
Yeah,
she's taken this one on in that final 50, but it's going to be a touch and go with Rebecca Cole from South Lanarkshire in this final length. I think maybe Ellie has got the grip bit between her teeth, and she's really pushed on in this last length. Saved just enough to push away from these swimmers. Entry time is a 2:45.7, and she's going to get under that 2:44.68, so that's a nice swim for her. She'll be the fastest in these afternoon heats. Second looks like it's going to be Rebecca Cole, and in third it's Evie O'Halloran Hutchison. So that's the 200 breaststroke for females over. Now on to wait for that to be confirmed though.
And just confirming, none of the swimmers understandably got anywhere near 2:38.70 when our fastest heat was 2:45. They had to find a heck of a lot. Well, some of them have had some nice PBs, which is I think what most of them would have been looking
Absolutely.
for.
That's the result confirmed there on the screen. And we're going to move on now to the men's 200 fly. We've got 5 heats here. Another tough ask to get in a B final. These 200s with only B finals, it's a really tough ask with the quality of swimmers that we've got at this meet. And in this first heat though, we have Fraser McLaughlin Elgin in 1, Sidar Gullen, Warrender in 2, Oscar Churnside from Gady in 3, Rudy Webster from Dumfries in 4, Mano Drysdale, Warren de Bath in 5, Torrin Liver's Edge, South Aberdeen in 6, and Cameron Gill from first in 7. Side swim there. It's the Warrender swimmers in lanes 5. So we've not got swimmers in 6 and 7.
6 and
so
7.
Torrin and Cameron have decided 200 fly this afternoon is not what they want to do. Who can blame them? And it's now Mano in 5 and Sidar in 2. 29.58 for Sidar. Both Warrender boys turning pretty much together, but not out of it at all. Rory Webster in 4, and in 1 Fraser McLaughlin from Elgin. And still Sidar just, I think, 105.35. So 35 second 50. If you can keep up with the 36s in the next 2, that'll be under 2:20. Should be a nice swim. Nice, judge the wall perfectly there, straight in on the turn. Makes a big difference to go in with momentum. Pushes you out, gets you off on your next length, using as much of the existing momentum you've got in your swim, and he managed to do that well and has actually taken himself a body length ahead, turning in a 141.77, so it was another 36. So if he can keep this up, that's going to be sub 2:20, and he's looking strong. He's really paced this very well, Sidar, pulling away from the rest of the field, and he's going to get into the wall with 25 to go. I think he is going to do under 2:20, so that would be a big improvement for him on his heat time, and he's really motoring along. He looks strong on this last 25, and he's all of a sudden, he was a body length up with 50 to go, and he's got about 6 body lengths, and he comes in a 2:16.45. That is a fantastic swim for Sidar. That's a 9-second improvement for him on that 200 fly. Second, it was Rory Webster, 2:22.84, and third, Oscar Churnside, 2:24.27. Nice start to the heat swims this afternoon for Sidar. I'll be very happy with that, I suspect.
Second heat has in lane 1 Fraser Stewart from Step Rock, 2 Jim McCormack, Chesterley Street, 3 Max Pelosi, City of Glasgow, 4 Cameron Shaw from First, 5 Christian Matheson, Newcastle Swim Team, 6 Charlie Ward, Borough of Stockton, 7 Ewan Weir, Dundee City Aquatics, and in 8 Dean Bergatti, South Lanarkshire. No, I don't think I've mentioned Step Rock as a club so far this meet, St Andrews area.
No, I haven't actually. I haven't heard their name very often.
But Step Rock with Fraser Stewart going well, as is Dean Bergatti, 2 outside lanes, South Lanarkshire swimmer. Cameron Shaw in lane 4 though, 30.12, just with a slight advantage. 17-year-old representing First, he's the oldest swimmer in this one, and has the advantage. Ewan Weir coming through Dundee City Aquatics, that distinct pink cap, can't really miss it.
He won the East Districts, the Midland Districts event. Youth Academy member Ewan Weir, 14-year-old, youngest, not quite the youngest in the field. We have Kristen Matheson, lane 5 from Newcastle, but it's lane 4. Cameron Shaw, the first swimmer. Scottish Summer Meet finalists earlier in the year. Cameron, and he's opened up good couple of body lengths, minimum body lengths there ahead. So Sidar won a 105 in that first heat. Cameron was a second up on him as he turned, and he's turning in a 140.75. So another 36 will get him very close to Sidar's 2:16.
Although I think Sidar was really motoring the second half, so it might be a little bit slower than that. Coming maybe under a little bit pressure from Ewan Weir, who's finishing the race pretty strongly in lane 7.
It's looking close, and Ewan's looking in the better place. He's got body high position. Cameron's just slightly dragging out, and it's going to be Ewan who times it perfectly. 2:20.25. That is the first time he was in the lead in that race, was when he hit that wall at the end, which is how you swim a race. And he 14-year-old timed that to perfection. 3-second PB. Lovely swimming there.
Both boys under their entry time, so well done to Ewan and to Cameron. And moving on to our third heat. 1 is Luke Goggin from Billingham. 2, Thomas Parrott, Mount Kelly. 3, Matthew Scott, Newcastle. 4, Stephen Castro from Borough of Stockton. 5, James Bodie from Geary. 6, Ralph Serecki from Mount Kelly. 7, Lucas Johnson, Aberdeen Performance. And 8, Peter McGrowther, Durham City. Well, it's almost a northeast contingent from England contesting this one, Tony. A couple of Scots and 1 from Luke Kelly. 2:18s through to 2:21.
Extremes of the country. We've got Geary and Aberdeen in the north. We've got Mount Kelly in the south, and on the east coast, quite a collection from across the northeast. Just waiting for confirmation. You can see there, that was James Bodie and Ralph Serecki on the screen there. We got confirmation of that result, so it was Ewan Weir, Cameron Shaw and Christian Matheson. There's your lineup confirmed for this next heat. It's not easy to discern from those 4 letters on the screen what the clubs are.
Maybe try and explain a little bit of that if we can later on.
Robert, if you want to try and explain that one out, you're very welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Back to the simplicity of in the pool, and it's Luke Goggin, yes, Goggin from Billingham in 1. Good turn, Thomas Parrott, Mount Kelly in 2, and down here in lane 7, Lucas Johnson, University of Aberdeen Performance. He got 3rd in the summer meet earlier in the year, just edged out for 2nd by James Bodie, who's in lane 5. So that's a 29.09 for Lucas. Still pretty close. It's the fastest first 50 we've had, and it's lanes 2 and 6, so that's the 2 Mount Kelly swimmers, closely followed by Lucas Johnson from University of Aberdeen. Halfway through, 1:03.72, so that is the fastest split. It's still the 2 Mount Kelly swimmers. I'm not sure they'll be too aware of each other. Looks like Ralph Serecki making a bit of a move on this third 50, so that's a brave thing on a 200 fly. You've got to be feeling good at the end of 100 to push on the third 50. Keep an eye on, he went a 34.1 in that second 50. See how that compares to this third one, because he has stretched a little bit, maybe a body ahead. 36 on that 50.
Outside lanes beginning to pick up the pace as well, Tony.
Yeah. Peter McGrowther was the second fastest 50 there, and he is looking like he's making a move on Ralph, and Ralph's maybe starting to tie up a bit. And out in lane 1, Luke Goggin from Billingham has also come back strongly. He was just behind them in that third 50, and it's all to play for at the extremities of the pool. Luke Goggin in 1, Peter McGrowther in 8, and lane 6, Ralph Serecki has really gritted his teeth and is hanging on in there. Is he going to manage it, or is Peter going to touch him out? Doesn't do it. Ralph Serecki, 2:17.02, just holding on. That was a brave swim from him. 2:17.08, 6 100s behind him was Peter McGrowther from Durham, and the University of Aberdeen Performance from Luke Johnson edging into 3rd. 2:18.31, so hanging on there was Ralph Serecki from Mount Kelly. And we move into heat 4. Joe Carter, Delting in 1. Cameron Creaney, University of Stirling in 2. Gregor Batley, Alnwick Dolphins in 3. Cal Mitchin from Gary in 4. Callum Sinclair, West Lothian in 5. James Burnett, Warrender Baths in 6. Adam Scott, Wren 96 in 7. And in lane 8, Jasper Hall from Newcastle. So we can maybe do the initials during the 1500, Robert. I think we'll have a bit of time to...
We'll have a bit of time. I'll be able to explain that as best I can. We'll probably still be bamboozled, but we'll make some sense of it.
I think we might need to move on to the weather as well during the 1500s.
Yeah.
But we'll see where we get to. Good start in lane 2. Cameron Creaney, 29.11. Now at University of Stirling. Used to be at Cumbernauld.
Yeah.
And he's made that transition into university life. Not always easy to do, but there's a big pot of swimmers at Stirling to help you along the way. There's Cameron, still out in lead. Won a 2:15 at Scottish Summer Meet, where he was second. And in lane 6, James Burnett as well. So that's a 1:03.35 for Cameron. James Burnett, Warrender swimmer, second in East Districts, third in the national age groups, Youth Academy member.
He's coming through pretty strongly now in that second half, and really travelling very sweetly.
Yep, he's a good distance swimmer, 400 medley, 4/800 free. He's looking very, very strong on this 200 fly. He's really burned them out on this third 50. And the reason why is he's gone almost exactly the same 50 split, 33 point in that third 50. So he's the one guy who's held the form on that third 50. Doesn't look like he's paying for it too much. He's really looking strong, but the others aren't that far behind him. So let's see whether he can hold on.
Let's see if we can get a 2:11.
That would be nice. If he can do a 34 final 50. All starting to look a little bit tired. Callum Sinclair maybe edging into second, and it's James Burnett. Robert, just about did it for you. 2:11.99. Wasn't that nice? Well done. Good swimming there from James
Excellent
Burnett.
swimming,
Absolutely kept it going. Consistent, strong swimming. Second, it was Callum Sinclair, 2:14.43, and third on the screen you see there, Cameron Creaney, 2:15.12. So a nice swim there from James Burnett. 5 seconds, just 4-second improvement on his entry time.
Final heat, Zach Slater in 1, East Lothian swim team. In 2, Lewis Hammond, City Glasgow. 3, Finlay Club. 4, Andrew Bodie, both Aberdeen Dolphins. 5, Charlie Hazel from Mount Kelly. 6, Ethan Williams, Newcastle swim team. 7 is Fraser Tetlow from Gary, and 8, Ben Kelly, Warrender Baths. Off to a pretty level start. Maybe lane 3, not much in it. 2:13s and 2:14s in this one. Can we get anyone close to 2:11? Well, there's a pretty good contest going on in this one. Lane 5, Charlie Hazel from Mount Kelly with the early lead. Well, we don't have any times for you, but Mount Kelly swimmer has gone about a body length clear, going in through the turn in 3, lane 4 rather, under Bodie. At the North District age groups. There's a whole raft challenging for that second place. Finlay Club and Lewis Hammond, 2 Aberdeen Dolphin boys in 3 and 4. As we've mentioned before, Club of the Year and deserving of that accolade just recently. And,
still pretty close though, isn't it? Lewis Hammond, maybe City of Glasgow swimmer in 2, just starting to move strongly in this third 50. It is the third 50 that 200 fly really comes to life.
Fraser Tetlow and Ethan Williams trying to get into the mix. But,
it's now
Tony
Lewis.
Says it's very much Lewis Hammond.
He's got the momentum, hasn't he? But Charlie Hazel is sticking at it there, and the two of them are pretty much stroke for stroke, but Lewis Hammond does look like he's just edging ahead. got about an arm's length up on Charlie. He's led the whole of this race, Charlie, but Lewis Hammonds looks like he is going to push through in this last 25. He's starting to tie up a little bit, but I think he's got enough momentum. We have the clock back, so we'll get a time here, and he gets under the 2:10. Nice, 2:09.45.
Charlie Hazel, 2:10.33 in Findlay Club, 2:13.60. So the first three inside their entries times. Nice swim from Lewis. Only one this afternoon, under 2:10. Again, big ask to get anywhere near 2:05.5 for the B final, Tony. So
yeah, be happy with that PB. I'm absolutely sure of that, and the way he swam it as well. I think he paced that really well, Lewis. Good end to that 200 fly, and we now move on to 4 heats of the women's 100 backstroke. As you see there on the screen, Sophia Moole from Romford Town in 1, Libby Doubleday, University of Stirling in 2, Rebecca Smith from Aquajets in 3, Susia Smith from First in 4, Caitlin Rosie, Glasgow Uni in 5, Alex Coy from Warren de Baths in 6, Niamh Carroll, Tadcaster in 7, and Amy Humphreys, Larne in lane 8, 68s. Entry times for these girls. That's Alex Coy on your screen there, Warren swimmer, lane 6. Quick shot of her. And as they come out, really strong start in lane 5. Caitlin Rosie from Glasgow University, and in lane 1 it was Sophia Moole from Romford. They both had the best starts, I think. Good kicks underwater, really good turnout again from Sophia Moole, 15-year-old from Romford.
Very good turn from her, getting about 9 metres and getting quickly into her stroke.
31.96. So she's really taking this one out, Sophia. That's going to get you in the 36 mark, I would think. Should be a really strong swim for her. Coming through in lane 7, Niamh Carroll from Tadcaster as well. And lane 2 next to Sophia is Libby Doubleday from University of Stirling. It's a really strong swim here from Sophia. Out there in lane 1, she's absolutely destroyed this field. Great turns, great start, and a great finish here in a 66.26. Really good swim there. Over 2.5 seconds up on her entry time. Second it was Niamh Carroll, 1:08.48. Just on her entry. Third Libby Doubleday, 1:08.56. So that's a good start to this event. 1:06.26.
1:03.85 is the time that would be required to get into a B final, and we're virtually 2 seconds that the swimmers in the final heat have got to find, which is a massive ask. So I don't really think they've got much chance, Tony, but you never know.
But I'm sure they will give it a good go. Safrina Machin, lane 1 from City of Glasgow. Melissa Menny, South Lanarkshire in 2. Lane 3, Grace Courtney, East Lothian. 4 is Isabella Abernethy from Aberdeen Dolphin. Rosie Liston, City of Glasgow in 5. Rachel Childs, University of Stirling in 6. Jessica Beaton, Aberdeen Dolphins in 7. And Eve Wood from Orkney in lane 8. Sorry, no lane 3 here. So Grace Courtney has decided not to give 100 back a go. And
lane 1 perhaps, just Serena Machin. Not much in it out the turn.
Close.
It's about 4 almost together. Might just be Melissa Menny, Tony on the far side for the South Lanarkshire team.
Yeah, won the Scottish Summer Meet earlier in the summer up in Aberdeen, Melissa. And she's turning first in a 32.27, so slightly down on this one, the heat before. So maybe high 106, 107s here for Melissa. Good turn again, and it's really her and Safrina Machin. And maybe in lane 6 here is Rachel Charles from the University of Stirling. But it's going to be Melissa, I think, the 14-year-old from South Lanarkshire. He's going to take that in a 106.49. So she came back really strong there, getting a 1.5 seconds almost up on her entry time. Second it was Safrina Machin next to her in a 107.66, which will just get up confirmed on your screen hopefully in a minute. And in third place, Rachel Childs, Stirling University in a 107.88. Get that confirmed in a minute on the screen, hopefully.
Got nice PBs for the first two home there.
Yep.
Tony says that's now confirmed on the screen as we move on to heat number 3. 1 is Lily Smith from Ulverston, 2 Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire, 3 Jamie Lee Tyson, Ulverston, 4 Evelyn Hallisey from Newcastle Swim Team, 5 Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire, 6 Rosie Foster, Warner Bass, 7 Madison Cool from Bucky, and 8 Emma McGavin, South Lanarkshire.
Good heat.
2 6s to 2 7s, Tony.
Maddie Cool won a 66 point at the North Districts not that long, Midlands District, sorry, not that long ago, so she's coming in with slightly better form. And lane 5 though going well, starting with is Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire swimmer. And it is Amber, I think, is just taking it out here. Lane 7 is also Maddie Cool, who just mentioned had a good swim a couple of weeks ago. So it is Maddie turning in a 31.85, so she looks like she's on target for getting somewhere near about the 106 mark, I would think, which is going to be a good improvement from her entry. 106.73 is her target from that Midlands District not long ago. And it's still Maddie Cool. Rosie Forster on her outside, a Warrender swimmer, won the Scottish Summer Meet in this event as well, coming through. But I think, in fact, it is lane 3, Jamie Tyson, 105.68, who had a very strong second half there. Second it was Evelyn Hallisey, 106.40. And in third it was Rosie Forster in a 106.42. We'll get that confirmed. Here's your 1, 2, 3. Jamie Tyson 105.68, Evelyn Halsey 106.40, and third Rosie Forster 106.42.
Final heat. We have in 1 Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian Swim Team, 2 Kiana Bellotti, Edinburgh University, 3 Coco Croxford, Stirling Swim, 4 Eva Fear, Durham City, 5 Grace Aduo from Newcastle Swim Team, 6 Lilia Pimlott, Mount Kelly, 7 Chloe Barden, Midlothian, and 8 Catherine Renfrew, Perth City. 105.70 is the fastest. That's Eva Fear, Durham City. Oh, she's got to find almost 2 seconds. In fact, the rest have got to find maybe more than 2 to get into that B final.
It's a tough ask.
The swimmer goes in lane 8.
Strong start in the 1, 2, 3 and 5. Maybe just lane 5, Grace Aduwu, Newcastle swimmer. But it's very close really across 5 or 6 of these swimmers. And yeah, there's at least 5 of them all going to turn within a fraction. It is Grace Aduwu though, 31.04. So that's a 65 territory, maybe even 64 if she can really push on. She's got Layla Pimlott from Mount Kelly on her right beside her, push her on, and it's very close between Ailey Armstrong, Kiana Bellotti and Coco Croxford over there in lanes 1, 2 and 3, but still Grace, she has had the edge all the way through this race, but it's Coco Croxford finishing strongly in lane 3, and also beside her Layla Pimlott in 6. Who's going to get the touch? Oof, Coco gets it, 105.76. Grace ended up being 4th there. Second it was 105.87 for Kiana Bellotti, 105.91 Layla Pimlott. Grace Aduwu, who's leading it pretty much until the flags, in the 4th place, 105.98. But a strong swim from Coco Croxford.
Just died at the end, didn't she?
Yeah, just misjudged the end as well. Didn't have the momentum with her.
So our next event, men's 100 metres individual medley.
Bit of a fun race this one. Don't get to swim this very often, the guys. So I think this is another one where when we get towards the end around heat 6 that you might see some people nudging the 59.2 C final time. Big ask, but possible.
Joe Carter, 1, Belting. 2, Lee Double Durham City. 3, Samuel Antrobus from Borough Stockton. 4, David Smith from Glenrothes. 5, Roy Skingellis, City Glasgow. 6, Ollie O'Connor, Mount Kelly. 7, we suspect maybe an empty lane, but it's not. It's Tom Luridge. She is swimming this one from South Aberdeenshire. And 8, Calvin MacDonald, Aberdeen Performance. Another corner in lane 6, 28.18 at halfway.
14-year-old, good start for him.
Lanes 4 and 3, David Smith from Glenrothes coming through to challenge. David Smith maybe just hits the front at the right time, and can he just pull this one through? Fastest in this one, 103.64, and he does indeed improve on that entry time. 101.65, 102.23 for Ollie, and Samuel 103.22 takes third. So nice swims from those 3 lads, improving their entry times.
Yeah, good. 2 seconds up.
And our second heat in lane 1, Fraser Tetlow from Geary. 2, Connor Christophoris from Aberdeen Dolphins. 3, Samuel Chittleborough, Aberdeen Performance. 4, Lewis Gray, Inverclyde. 5, Jacob Light, Morpeth. 6, Roman Wilson, Borough Barnsley. 7, Adam Scott, City Glasgow. And 8, Ethan Alpris, Ulverston. In case you wondered, we have 2 Adam Scotts. We have a 16-year-old Adam Scott from City Glasgow. We also have a 15-year-old Adam Scott from Ren 96.
Just
in
to
lane
keep us on our
7,
toes.
it's the City Glasgow swimmer in this one. Lane 3 going well.
Ethan Allpress here in lane 8. Looks like he may just edge it at the 100, 50 even.
Samuel Chittleborough well there. Now coming through is Jacob Light in lane 5. Samuel Chittleborough still well there. Lanes 3 and 8, next to nothing off the turn.
He's got it in this last length. It's going to be between Ethan and Samuel, but also coming through very strongly in lane 5 is Jacob Light from Morpeth, but it's going to be lane 8, Ethan Allpress, I think. And it is 101.3. Second was Samuel Chittleborough, 101.50, and in third, Jacob Light, 101.75. Good finish there for across the pool.
And now confirmed on your screen, heat 3, Robbie Carlyle, South Lanarkshire, goes in 1. 2, Jack Docherty Simpson, Scotia. 3, David Crichton, Chesterley Street. 4, Jake Gibson, Aberdeen Performance. 5, Jonathan Ventnor, Perth City. 6, Jack Ashurst, Morpeth. 7, William Ellis, Borough Stockton. And 8, Jack Mitchell, Aberdeen Performance.
So
1 or 2s in this one, Tony.
yeah, but every heat so far they have gone faster than their entry by a decent margin, good couple of seconds, so interesting to see if that can be kept up here. William Ellis, Borough Stockton, 19-year-old, has stormed the first 50, 26.53. That is some 1.3 seconds faster than anything we have seen before. If he can keep that up, he will be peppering the 59s. Getting caught up on the breaststroke, and it's now lane 5. Jonathan Venter from Perth City, who's come from the pack to the lead on that breaststroke, and it's all down to this last 25. Looks like William Ellis is coming back again on the freestyle. It's all going to be on the touch. I think it maybe will be Jonathan Venter, and it is 101.54. Couldn't keep up the early pace, but still over a second improvement on his entry time. Second, it was early leader William Ellis, 101.65, and in third, 102.15, Jack Ashurst. Into heat 4, Max Twining, Marlborough in 1, Rory Young, City of Glasgow in 2, Aaron Morgan, Ealing in 3, Edward Bell, Seagulls in 4, Greer van der Meulen in 5 from Stirling Swim. South Ayrshire, Dylan Cashmore in 6, Logan van der Meulen, Stirling Swim in 7, and Jack Lorimer from Idan in lane 8. Brotherly love in here, Logan and Dylan. Sorry, Logan and Greer. Domestic bragging rights at play.
That's never going to be the case, is it, Tony?
I think there may be a bit of that going on in the van der Meulen household this evening. And in lane 2, it's Rory Young, though, of this parish once. Heart swimmer, now at City of Glasgow. Very strong start from him, 2:27.25.
This is the worst part of Rory's his breaststroke, but it has improved, so you never know.
Yep. Where are we getting to? It's lanes 2 and 3. Stuck at it. Aaron Morgan from Ealing in 3. And the van der Meulen race in 5 and 7 has been won by lane 7, Logan at the moment, Junior van der Meulen. But it's lane 3, Aaron Morgan. Strong swim in this back end here. And it's also Logan coming strongly, but it's going to be Aaron Morgan gets that in a 1:00.52. Second, Logan van der Meulen, 1:01.12, just 100ths ahead of Rory Young in a 1:01.13. Confirmed result there. Moving on to Heat 5. Dean Fern, Aberdeen Dolphins in 1, Finlay Nelson, Dumfries in 2, Lewis Bailey, University of Aberdeen in 3, Jacob Wood 4 for Elgin, City of Glasgow swimmers, Robson Miles and Cameron Dornan in 5 and 6, Magnus Bullock, Shetland in 7, and Joshua Mitchell in lane 8. Bit of a unsettled at the beginning of that heat, so they're all pulled off the block, reset, start again, wait for the long blast of the whistle.
And we'll look for the reaction time.
I have a feeling it's going to be strong swimming on the outside lanes, both 1 and 8 in this heat.
Good call, Dean Fern off to a flyer.
And Joshua Mitchell also in lane 8.
I daren't say a flyer, they've got off very strongly.
And
it's all over by the washing, I think, unless something special happens. Maybe Robson Miles have found something in 5. Dean Fern.
Don't rule out Josh. Josh he got a B final 3rd, I think, yesterday in the 50 breaststroke, so he'll come back strong on this one. And see whether he can back strong enough on Dean Fern. Strong swim also in lane 5 from Robson Miles. And it is exactly together, Dean Fern and Joshua Mitchell, as they come up to this last 25. Dean Fern gets off the wall well. Very hard to tell who's going to get this one from the shot here. But it's going to be one of those two. Josh Mitchell just edging it. 58.76, and he is in that C final.
58.
Nice swim from Joshua. 58.8 for... Oh, Dean Fern got it. Yeah, 58.76. Yeah. Josh Mitchell 58.8. So they're both likely to be in that C final. So we'll wait and see. Just have to look at that.
I think they're both definitely going to be in that final with
so.
Those times, Tony. I think you're absolutely right.
And just confirming the result.
It's just about to come on the screen, hopefully, in just a moment.
We may have a disqualification. Just got to wait and see if it affects the first few places.
Probably the main reason for the delay.
So let's just wait for that confirmation.
So, well, thankfully, from Dean and Josh's point of view, they are okay. There was disqualification in lane 3 for a technical infraction, and whilst that's underway, we'll just check the result of heat 2-1-1. 2-1-0, I think it was from this morning. Our C final. Confirm both those boys.
Yeah,
both in comfortably somewhere around the middle spot. Just I think they qualify in 6th and 7th place now.
Oh, good swimming there. See if these guys can displace them though.
One more to go. Finlay Davis, Midlothian in 1. Joshua Martin, Derwentside in 2. Teammates Thomas Maskell 3. Adam Strickland 4. Jackie Chan, Mount Kelly 5. Teammate Magnus Kelly in 6. 7. Nathan Campbell, Stirling Swim, and Ryan Broadley from the Broch goes in lane 8. Fantastic underwater work in lane 3 there from Thomas Maskell.
Yep. I think these guys are going to get pretty close to these times as well. So turning in a 26.71.
Adam Strickland and Finlay Davis 27.27 together.
And they're coming back a bit now on Thomas Maskell. Lanes 1 and 2, Finlay Davis, Joseph Martin. And it's those are there on the far side, 1, 2, 3. It's all down to them, I think. Who's got the legs? And it's going to looks like it's Thomas Maskell. He's really powering down this last length. As he comes into the wall, is he going to get there? 59.49, so he's just outside a final place. Good swim though, gets under the minute. Second it was 1:01.6 Finlay Davis, and third in lane 2 Joseph Martin 1:00.41. So good swimming from Dean Fern and Josh Mitchell, pushed each other into that C final in that event, so they'll be back this evening. 5:30 starts this evening. And we're now moving on to, this is the warm-up long distance for the really long distance. This is the women's 400 freestyle, 4 heats here. Victoria Niven, City Glasgow in 1 in this first heat. Catherine Bodie, Gary in 2. Lauren Heppel, Newcastle in 3. Lexine McCappin, first in 4. Georgia Dickey from Dumfries in 5. Abby Davis, East Lothian in 6, and her teammate India Marshall in lane 7.
4 heats to look forward to in this one, Tony. So, 4:30 highs, 4:30s, and very low 4:40s for the whole field. So 4:35, I'm sure, would be what a lot of these girls will be hoping to try and get towards, or maybe slightly under if they can. Abby Davis and Lauren Hempel moment going out with a very slight advantage. It's lane 3, just shades it. Abby Davis, India Marshall in 6 and 7. Lexine McCappin in the middle lane is the fastest qualifier, winner at the West Districts, 16-year-old.
Just to confirm, in that 100 individual medley, Dean Fern's time of 58.76 was a new Scottish age group, 14-year-old Scottish age group record. So another one bites the dust for him. Beat the record Craig Benson, not a bad person to record to beat. He was a 1:0.34, so he smashed it by over a second and a half. So well done, Dean. It's another Scottish national age group record for him.
I'll be pleased with that, having lost a junior record to Kieran Lennox yesterday. Back on form again, Dean.
Good sign of the pedigree. Still against 14-year-olds rather than 16-year-olds as junior records, and that's a good one there.
So Lauren Hempel still going well. And 3 girls behind her, very close indeed. So at 200, 2:16.65 and 2:17.61 in 4th place is Georgia Dickey, so barely a second cover the first 4. So pacing a little bit under 2:40 perhaps. Abby Davis now coming through to put in a challenge. So the Sloan swimmer in lane 7, in lane 6 rather, just hits the front, and she looks to be the strongest at the moment in the second half of the race. May well pull away from the rest of them.
Looking nice and steady here.
Victoria Niven over in lane 1, trying to make some late headway.
Abby Davis had a 35.6 in that last 50. See if she's about 0.8 slower, but she's still ahead of the rest of the field. Closing in on her a little bit is India Marshall, her teammate.
Very much looks, Tony, as though all these swimmers are going to be over their entry times, the pace in this race. Steady, but not fast enough to, I think, trouble an improved time. Abby Davis 4:39.45. Just see the split with 50 to go. Well, she's come back 35.69. Well, she might just get inside that one.
Yeah, 35 there.
India Marshall is going to come back sub 34.4. They're under the 4:40 mark.
There or thereabouts, aren't they?
Yeah. So perhaps Abby Davis will be the only one improving her time. 19-year-old from East Lothian. And she does just improve it by roughly a quarter of a second, 4:39.19. India Marshall also improves her time by 0.21, under the 4:40 mark. And Victoria Niven over the far side improves her time by about half a second, 4:40.18. So the first three home, just slight improvements, but it's just a little bit over their entry time. Our second heat has Hannah Edmonston in 1, City Glasgow, 2, Alice Forrest, Derwentside, 3, Annabelle Cooper, Chesterley Street, 4, Constance Logan, Mount Kelly, 5, Tegan Black, East Lothian Swim Team, 6, Gwendolyn Mearns, Tynedale, in 7, Skylar Frieden from Mount Kelly, and in 8, Tony Shaw from University of Stirling.
Tony Shaw, world para champion in this event. Just keep an eye on her Scottish record 4:39.42 that she broke only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was at the para meet.
Yeah, you were commentating on that, I think.
Being with Paul Noble, who often helps us here. Paul, very well renowned at the para meets for his knowledge on the para events. There were a lot of Scottish records broken that weekend, European records, and lots of times inside the world best as well.
So it's going to be a tough ask for her to get close to that only a few weekends after, but we'll keep an eye on the time.
Well, another 300 110s would get her pretty close to that, Tony. We'll keep, we'll keep an eye on it.
Lane 1 though, Hannah Edmonston. Scottish Summer Meet bronze medalist in this event, 17-year-old from City of Glasgow. And she's a strong start here, 1:38.32.
See how Tegan Black goes. She in second place, improved on that 4:37.30 a couple of weeks ago at Michael Woods. Finished second in East Districts at 4:36.01. Black cap in lane 5 rather, is Tegan. About a body length or so behind Hannah. 2:13.37. Tony Shaw, I think maybe that record won't be challenged today. 2:18.14 unless you do something special in the second half. Here, Tony. Good race at the moment for second and third. Constance Logan now just moving into second place. Tegan Black, she's had a few swims over the last day or two, so maybe just that little bit extra being taken out of her. Anna Edmondson, 2.5 or so ahead. Alice Forrest making a wee bit move in lane 2.
Good swimming here. All around the 110 mark in their hundreds. So with a 104 at the front end and probably a 108-ish at the back end, they're going to be looking to get underneath their entry times. 3:24.81.
So can she get inside that 4:30? I'm sure she can. Can it be pretty close to 4:36? She looks still pretty strong. She was coming under a little bit of pressure, but she's kicked on again.
So Tony Shaw needs to do a 69 in her last 100, which is not beyond the realms of possibility. But it's coming strongly now in lane 4. Constance Logan, Mount Kelly, 14-year-old. It's going to be a cracking finish here.
Alice Forrest not out of it either. So barely a second between first and third. Anna still looks pretty strong, Tony.
She does. I think she's played a blinder here. She's gone out right from the beginning and she has just held on, and I don't think they're going to catch her. And if she can get under that pacing she's been doing, she's going to under 4:35, which would be a nice swim out there in lane 1. Lane 4, Constance coming through, and Tegan Black as well, and I think Hannah's just going to tang on, and she does. 4:34.84.
Somebody will be asking what Tegan Black was doing in that race, dropping back and then finishing like a train at the end. Improves on that time that she did over at East Districts by about a half a second or so. 4:35.49, 4:36.01. But well done, Hannah. 4:34.84.
Tony Shaw coming in there in a 4:43, so slightly over her Scottish record that she broke only a couple of weeks ago, so hardly surprising, but a really strong swim from her. As we move into Heat 3, Sophie McClure, Tadcaster in 1, Amelia Mardell, Ulverston in 2, Sophie Bromley, City of Sheffield in 3, Nicole Quiller, Mount Kelly in 4, in 5 from University of Aberdeen Performance, Mary Mishenko, Orla McInnes, Heart of Midlothian in 7, Millie Dixon, Mount Kelly in 8, and Caris Mooney, City of Glasgow in lane 8. 4:32 to 4:36. Mary Mishenko, Ukrainian swimming in Aberdeen, out in a 30:48. But it's pretty close across lanes 2 to 5. Amelia Mardell, Sophie Bromley, Nicole Quiller and Mary Mishenko. Amelia Mardell, Scottish Summer Meet 4th in her age group. And she's up there, but it's still Mary Mishenko, 104.21. So 300s faster than the previous heat, so that was a 4:34, so that's the kind of pacing you might expect them to be aiming for. Maybe lane 5 now. Still Mary Mishenko, just an arm's length ahead, so I don't think we can call that pulling away. Lane 8, Caris Mooney, 15-year-old from City of Glasgow, also still just in the mix. But Mary Mishenko, 1:38.34. There's a 34, so these girls are swimming about a second, 150 faster. If they can keep this going. And it is Mary just very, very slowly, almost imperceptibly stretching. Doesn't look like she's stretching. Very slow, long stroke rate, but it's effective because she turns it halfway in 2:12.44. So that's a second up, and she is hitting 34s, one after the other, Sophie Bromley there, also in lane 3 has decided that she needs to make a move, and all of a sudden it's those two that have pulled away from the swimmer in between them, Nicole Quiller. And at the 250, just a quick acceleration of pace from Sophie Bromley has turned this one around, and she went a 33.55 on that 50, so she's got the momentum with her. But there's still Mary Mashenko in 246.7.
Well, between the two here, Tony, as you say, momentum perhaps now with Sophie. But, Mary's
hanging on in there
and seeing there's a challenge and got going again. I don't think there's much between the two.
Not at all, and they're turning at the 300. Only 0.2 between them to 3:20.96. So they're now 4 seconds up on the previous heat. They have been hitting 34s, which is about a second of 50 up on the previous heat. So you could expect them to be knocking on the door of the 420s. They pulled out a 5 metre gap now on Nicole Quiller in between. And this looks like it's going to go down to the wire as they come up to turn with 50 to go.
Just fancy
and Sophie, I agree,
yeah.
Just edging ahead, 3:55.16. 34.05 on that 50, and she's has got the momentum, but Mary is not giving up. She's battling back now on this final 50, and it is all to play for as they turn. Mary maybe just ahead. Oh, she's really come back strong on this one, and it looks like you wouldn't think she's picking up the pace given her stroke rate, but she's absolutely kicking away like a Trojan, and I think she's going to come in and take this one and get under 4:30, 4:27.97. That was a really lovely pace swim from her. 2:12, 2:15 pacing. Sophie Bromley pushed her all the way, got them both a good time, I think. Sophie really pushing at it, 4:28.38, and in third, Nicole Quiller, 4:32.60. So that's a nice improvement for Mary Mashenko. 6 seconds, 7-second improvement.
You saw a wee smile from Caris Mooney, I think, up to her, what's probably her parents in lane 8. She got inside the 4:37 that she was entered in. Well done, Caris, in 4th place. In 1, Faye Rogers from Aberdeen Performance. In 2, Isabel Land from Newcastle Swim Team, just a 13-year-old. 3 is Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim, teammate Cara Gordon in 4. 5, Elena Morgan. No swimmer in lane 5. In 6 we have Anna Green from Warner Baths. 7 is Katie Sherlock from Mount Kelly. And in 8, Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield. So it's we contest over in 3 and 4 to see who comes out top from Stirling, the 2 70-year-olds, Isabel and Cara. At the moment, advantage with Isabel Wood. Going a little bit better than her teammate, Cara Gordon, with the fastest entry time.
Now, keep an eye, Faye Rogers. She's swimming in the S10 category.
She swam with a lot of distinction 2 weeks ago over at the Parameet. Used to swim for the Borough of Stockton many years ago. Used to come up to this event regularly, and our best stroke, I think I'm absolutely right in saying, is butterfly, but there's a variety of strokes, so we'll see how she goes in this one. So going pretty well is Anna Green from Warner, and Cara Gordon making a bit of a move now. Cara Gordon was the West District senior champion in the open water that was held at Loch Venacher back end of the middle of August. Her younger sister was the junior champion, so she'll enjoy a 400. She'd much rather enjoy a 1500. But she'll certainly give Isabel Wood a good run for her money. The two Stirling swimmers now well up there with Anna Green, though. Anna Green won't give us up a good scrap between the three. Anna Green 8th at the national. Much better on backstroke, isn't she, Tori?
Represented Great Britain at the European Juniors in the summer, but showing a bit of versatility here in the 400, and she's going well. .45.41, so she's ahead of the previous heat.
On entry times, she's just a fraction behind both Cara and Isabel. Good contest here. Finish us off with 4:19.30 is the time that they've got to try and get to, but we know that
it's a tough ask.
That's almost beyond any of the swimmers this afternoon for getting into a B final. Anna Green's going pretty well. Cara Gording still well within striking distance with 100 to go.
So 4:25 territory here, which will be a nice improvement for Anna if she can keep going.
Still fancy her to hold this one. Still looks pretty strong with 75 to go.
Not sure she'll be too disappointed getting a PB, but not the final of this one.
Yeah,
that's almost a perfect result. She will be, I'm sure, looking forward to the 100 back finals this evening. She's in the B final, I think.
Right, let's see what the distance between the two. We have 1.3 seconds, and Anna Green, I think, will comfortably win this one. It's who's going to be best from Stirling, Isabel or Cara?
They do look like they're going slightly faster on this last 50. But I think they've left it too much to catch Anna, but they're definitely pushing each other ahead. Lane 3 maybe. Looks like it's Isabel. They are catching Anna, but I don't think they've just left it too late, haven't they?
Anna and Isabel, Cara, all three of them will be pleased to get under that 4:30 mark. That's a psychological mark for a lot of the girls if they're trying to get it below. Just make that little improvement. Good to see 4:23, sorry, 4:29, 23.
All right, strap yourselves in. 3 heats of 1500 to come.
Stick the kettle on. Get the biscuits ready.
Don't go anywhere though. Despite the fact it's a 1500, these can often be the most exciting races that you get.
Coming to the recaptioned. When you get the caption coming up on the screen, we have 4 letters. For the Scottish ones, if there is an X at the end, that signifies someone that swims in Scotland. The first letter, if it is a U, it means that they are swimming not for their club but for their unified team. So a team in South Lanarkshire will have a U in front of it, rather than the individual clubs, which are the likes of Lanark, Hamilton, Baths, East Kilbride, etc. However, if it is a club from a district, it will have N, which will signify the north, an M, which signifies the Midland, an E, which will signify the East District, or a W, which will signify the West District. The 2 middle letters are signifying what that club is. So for Geary, it will be N, north, G, H, which is the code for Geary, followed by an X. For First, which is a unified team, it will be UFTX. And for Warder Baths in the East, EWBX. So those are the sort of codes that you get up in Scotland.
So that's a bonus for our listeners in getting all that. Hopefully they won't be asked to test them. We're going to test them later on to see whether anyone's picked up on that. Don't test me though, Robert.
Okay. I think for our Irish swimmers, I think it might well be the first 4 letters of the club they're representing, but don't quote me on that. In England, it can be a variety of what they think is best for their club. So I'm not quite sure how they organise it. We had Tadcaster, TADE. We had Romford Town as ROML, that I saw earlier. So
I'm going to guess that the E stands for East and the L stands for London, but what do I know? Well, Romford's Essex, isn't it? So.
Well, the East would actually be East Anglia. There are different districts with different regions. So you have North East, North West. You have different areas in the Midlands. Then you have South West, South East. It's all almost an alien concept.
If anyone from England understands their codings,
please tell us.
We're itching to know.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be walking past in the pool, please drop in.
Yeah. But at least we know that the Scottish ones are quite simple.
Simple if you know. It didn't sound very simple to me, Robert. But anyway, simple if you know.
So back to the action in the pool. We have 1,500 metres already gone, sixth of the way, 250 metres already. Ali Jeffrey is our early leader. But, there's not much between first and eighth here.
Nope, and they've been just keeping up with the timings on this as we've been going.
3.5 seconds between
18:28. So at the 300 mark, that was a 61 first 100, a 68 second 100, and a 69 third. So settling into sort of 68, 69 hundreds. Which I'm not even going to try and do the maths to determine what that's going to bring them out at.
No.
Come on, Robert. That was your cue.
They're pacing round about 110 mark here.
Yeah. Or maybe slightly under actually, 68, 69.
So we're probably looking at time somewhere, I would hope, round about 17-minute-ish mark. A little bit over 17. We'll see how this one develops.
I think I'm going to wait till they get to 500 and multiply by 3, Robert. That's going to be my guess. 426.8. So another 69. So pretty even pacing around that 68 high, 69. And when we get to the next 100, we can do slightly.
Well, I do think it'll be a little bit
quick
under,
maths.
a little bit under 17, maybe about.
So they're going to be
10 seconds under that.
Around the 5:35 mark for their 500. Sorry. So
indeed.
So that's 1640, 1650.
Something like that. I think if you'd been listening to the live stream, I did mention bit open water, which I have a habit of doing, Tony.
So when the people say get out a bit more, Robert, you take it to the open water meets, do you? Okay.
Yeah. So I did mention that I thought that one of the Geary swimmers was the open water champion, and I thought it might have been Ben McLaughlin. In fact, I did my homework last night, as I should have done before I came the previous day, and it's actually a swimmer in lane 2, Oscar Chirnside, who was the Ian Prentice award winner.
The Geary swimmer.
Yeah, Ian Prentice was very, very passionate in his day for all swimmers to take part in open water. Falthouse Penguins coach from many years ago, and all of the swimmers, Tom Seavright encourages all his swimmers to try and have a bash at it. So anyone listening in, it's fun. It's a bit different than swimming in a straight line in the pool.
It's a different sport. It really is. It's a
yeah.
completely different feel. And interestingly, over lockdown, at the kind of in the middle to the tail end of it, open water swimming was all that kids could do.
Yeah.
So the number of swimmers that we knew around Edinburgh who were up in the Pentlands doing their open water swimming, and some of them who you would have thought would never have got themselves into an outdoor situation really took to it.
Well, we're talking about Katie Goodburn doing a 50 breaststroke and finishing second to Cara Hanlon. Well, lo and behold, Katie Goodburn was doing some open water up at Threepmuir, and it was nice to bump into her. And her mum was having a little chat with me, and they were up regularly doing that. So it's something that is a bit different, a bit fun, and no, well, I'm not saying we don't take it seriously, but most people don't take it overly seriously, but they do have an enjoyable day out. And if the sun shines in the middle of summer, you have a lovely day out, picnic, and meet a lot of new people from all over Scotland, and we also get some coming up from England as well.
Well, Kerry-Ann Payne moved from up to Warrender, trained with Warrender. She converted herself from an Olympian pool swimmer to an Olympian open water swimmer, and in the water here, Thomas Traynor has just slowly edged his way into the lead for the first time in lane 8. So he's a South Lanarkshire swimmer, 7:54. So that's 700. So we're going to get to the halfway mark, so we can do a bit more quick maths, Robert, at the halfway stage.
Yeah. Well, on the far side, still going well. Oscar Chirnside in third place. So a halfway mark, 8:29.16. So double that, add a little bit, and we're a smidgen over 17 minutes.
So that's easier maths and more correct than my 3 times
Indeed.
the 500, which I got at 16:46. So glad we were able to check it at the halfway.
But also depends how they've gone out to swim it. Some of them, very few, go out and actually negative split.
So it is known,
and I'm sure you'll be able to explain to everyone listening what a negative split is, Tony.
This one I can handle. It's when your second half of your race is faster than the first half of your race.
Indeed. And apparently that's what happened last night in the 400 IM. George Smith, and usually backstroke and butterfly, the first two, which are reasonable pace. He has such a good breaststroke that his breaststroke and freestyle were actually faster in the second half. That is very rare to occur, because the breaststroke is the slowest of the 4 disciplines. Never ever come across that before.
No. Yeah, it's not that uncommon in middle and long distance 8s and 1500s. People do it semi-regularly. Oh, nice close up there for Thomas Traynor. He'll be glad with that when he watches it on the live stream. That's a nice, really good shot of the technique, and he's breathing every 2, keeping it nice and steady head. Looks over the other side just to see, where the other swimmers are.
Indeed. Going very well is Thomas.
10, 13, 23, so he's on the 69.5s, so he's doing well here.
It's a good race. There's 4 of them still well there in the mix. George Turner in 4th place, not that far behind. Newcastle 15-year-old. That's 2 15-year-olds and 2 14-year-olds in this one.
So it's still Thomas, then Harry, and then Oscar. 10:48.03. So at the next turn, it will be the 1,000. As you can see, they go up to this end. There's the counters, and both of us having done that a few times, it's probably one of the jobs you dread the most, because the last thing you want to do is get that wrong and give the swimmer the wrong indication. Now, it is the swimmer's responsibility to count the lengths up. That is there just to guide, but you really don't want to be the official that indicates to them that they've got 8 or 9 lengths to go when they've actually got 11. 11:22.92 at the 1,000 mark.
as you well know, someone like Stephen Milne who did this regularly. If you were in the middle lane and you had the misfortune of having Stephen Milne coming up, then you were guaranteed that you were not going to stay very dry for long.
But do you know what?
But it was a joy watching him swim.
Absolutely. He needs to do a splashy turn. He's welcome to do a splashy turn. 11:57.61. This is a good 1500 swimming here from young Thomas.
Well,
all of them, to be honest, are all really getting into the groove. I think it's a good thing about a 1500. Once you're in the groove, you can just keep it going. And if you just over egg it at any point around about now, you can really suffer.
Oh, you can see over on the far side the guys in just above the HM with the yellow epaulets. That's the two Geary guys. Head coach Sir McLaughlin will be egging his boy on Oscar Chim's side. He's got another couple of swimmers in the next one, and another one in the final heat. And at the top end, you see the two guys with a sort of, dare I say, white hair. That's the two guys from South Lanarkshire. Keeping an eye on Thomas Traynor. He's still going well on the outside lane. There's nothing worse than doing a distance event and being in the outside lane with nobody beside you. You've just got to swim your race and get that mental clock going. And he's doing okay. I think if anything, he's maybe just extending the advantage. Other three swimmers all still well there.
So 13:41.8. That's at the 1200 mark. So that's Andy Figgins over there. You were referring to the South Lanarkshire swimming. He's been involved in swimming as long as most people can remember. 30 or 40 years involvement.
This is a joy for Andy having a swimmer doing this. They do everything over there at East Kilbride, but very strong at encouraging our swimmers to get involved in the distance events.
Keir Buchanan was there previous, I think, from memory. He's a really good age group 1500 swimmer. Got medals at British Championships at various times. No longer swimming, but he was a good
indeed
swimmer for Andy Figgins. But it's still Thomas, sorry. Do wonder if in lane 4 Harry Pearce has just got a little bit left in him as they turn at 14:51 at the 1300 mark. So they're gearing up to.
Well, he's still just a second or so
it's
ahead.
Not that much, is it?
He's kept it steady. There's very little in it. If anything, Oscar Chimside's getting plenty of encouragement to just try and pick things up and keep with these two.
So George Turner there looking up as he approached the wall. I suspect hoping it was a number 7, but it's a number 9, George. So you've got 200 to go. And they have now got 200, 15:25. 250 to go. And what's the gap now? He is closing, isn't he? Just ever so slightly. Also over there in lane 2, Oscar Chirnside is sort of gearing up to come back as well. So after nearly 17 minutes of swimming, there's a chance this one's going to come down to a bit of a sprint finish at the end. Let's see if Thomas has responded to that threat from Harry. And he has, you know. He's now back up to 1.5 seconds.
So the gap, I think, it's increased 1.7 now.
Yeah. So that was good response there from Thomas. I think he's got this one.
I think indeed it's.
And he's going to get to the point in this race that every single distance swimmer loves more than anything else as they come up to the wall, and it's the bell. 16:34.47. That is just music to their ears. And all of a sudden,
Can negative split?
Well,
I think there's
every possibility
every
that you might.
He's got to come back in about a 34.5.
Going to do that. And there he goes. Camera's not quite got him. Let's get James's glory in lane 8. As the camera, we've got his feet. Are we going to get his hands? And we do. And he comes in. What a swim there. Thomas Traynor, 17:07.51.
Not quite a negative split, but
it's a 16-second improvement though on his entry time, so that's a lovely swim for him. Harry comes in 17:09.25, just over his entry. Oscar Churnside 17:10.12, so he is third, and a nice 8-second improvement on his entry time. So nice to swim for 17 minutes and improve on your time. Well done to all of them.
Also George in fourth by 5 seconds as well. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Very good.
Gregor Skinner also improves. So 5 very good times. In fact, good race that one, Tony.
Very good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And as you can see, Tynemouth, Newcastle, but USLX, Unified South Lanarkshire X, Big Scottish.
We might need to do that one more time
so,
in the third heat as well, just to reinforce
those disciplines if you're watching. Yeah. So Andy will have his eye on Jack Simpson in lane 5. The SL on that blue cap. Another guy that's been doing a lot of variety of swimming and a fair bit of distance now that we're back in the pool a bit more. Some of these guys are getting the chance to do what some of them actually love doing, some distance events. Not been many opportunities to do that. Lots of 100s and 200s and 50s just due to lucky pool time, Tony.
Yep, totally. But starting to get more of those now, and this event has given them good opportunity. So we've got 6 or 7 in a line.
So better run through the
oh, that's a good idea. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. So in lane 1, Aidan Turner from Newcastle, black cap over on the far side. Yellow cap Ralph Robson from Tyndale. 2 Mount Kelly swimmers going well in 3 and 4. That's Barney Ryder in 3, Anthony Davis in 4. We mentioned Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire going in 5. Gary Have in 6, Fraser Tetlow at yellow cap. 7, Panos Angelakis from Mount Kelly. So 3 Mount Kelly swimmers in 7, and another Gary swimmer, Kyle Mitchell, goes in lane 8.
About a second faster at this stage, so they're just repping at this stage. Second and a half per 50 faster. Well, that was Anthony Davis in that last one. I think they're going to settle around the high 33s, so that is about a second to 50 faster. So maybe 30 seconds. So the mid 1630-ish in this one, which would make sense given the entry times. 2:07.29 at the 200. Couple of seconds up, so yeah, I think we're looking at 16:30 something.
So 3 of them pulled away, 2 Mount Kelly boys and Jack Simpson from South Lanarkshire. Anthony Davis, Jack Simpson separated by barely a second on the entry times. Barney Ryder about 10 seconds plus slower. But, he'll get pulled along with the 2 boys in the middle lanes. 2 Gary boys a little bit further back. 4th and 5th over on the far side. 2 lads from the northeast of England together. Aidan and Ralph with another Mount Kelly swimmer, Panos Angelakis. Just bringing up the rear at the moment.
So 5 seconds up on the previous heat. So this is a These guys are all relatively close on entry times with each other, 20 seconds, so getting that impression in the pool where it's not that big a gap between the guys at the front and the guys at the back. See how that evolves over the race. Once you lose touch on a 1500, it's very, very tricky to come back, and that's why you're starting to see these three grouping together in the middle of the pool, and these three grouping together at the bottom of the pool. And up the top end there, you've got a little bit of a break for Aidan Turner. He's decided he needs to stick with Fraser and Panos and Kyle. And it's going to be tricky for him though, because he's way over in lane number 1, but he does want to hang on, I think, to these three swimmers at this end.
Barely half a second cover the three.
So 4:19.08. And you wonder at some point one of these guys may just decide to just have a go, break away. Keep an eye on the pacing for that. It's the kind of thing that might happen. Maybe as you approach the 1,000 metre, one of them may just decide.
What's the younger of the three? He's 15-year-old and 3, Barney Ryder. Jack Simpson 16, Anthony Davis 17. So maybe the 15-year-old's thinking, right, if I just push on.
He has. 32.55 there, so that is over half a second up on the pacing that they've been doing before. This is a brave step so early in the race to try and break the other two swimmers. You do wonder whether he'll maybe just have tried that, maybe think again, because they're all starting to bunch back. So I think Barney's maybe given it a little pop, but not carried on. Yep, back up to 33, 5:24.94.
So you say, Tony, there's probably around about the 16:30ish mark for pace.
But what Barney has done, I think, potentially started to break his teammate Anthony Davis with that little surge at the 500, because Jack Simpson from South Lanarkshire is going with him, but Anthony's just starting to lose the pace. 5:58 dead.
Yeah, nice wee tactic there, just putting down a mark and saying, right guys, can you just stay with me for the next 200 or 300?
And Jack Simpson has gone, yes I can.
Yeah, just give me a moment, I'll get myself into 4th gear instead of 5th gear.
But they have, that's a 6,500 that Barney's just done there, compared to 67s previously. 6:31.32, and it does look like Barney and Jack are pulling away from Anthony, and Anthony runs the risk of getting stuck in no man's land between the first two, and then the next group behind here, which is now a group of 3 across the pool. So
it can be very difficult once you've got back that little bit just to pick it up.
Yeah.
It's fine if you're happy that these guys have gone that little bit faster, if you know find that you've still got plenty in the tank and you can come back. It's a big ask, even at this virtually halfway stage.
Yep, halfway at this turn in the start end of the pool, and it is now Barney and Jack. Barney threw down the gauntlet, Jack has responded. I suspect it's hurt them both a wee bit, and at the halfway, 7:38.51 for Barney.
Well, there's only about half a second between the two. Jack Simpson still looks pretty relaxed, as though he's not too worried about what the other guy in lane 3 is doing.
But they're on sub 16:30 territory here, I think. Really picked up that pace at the 33s. This is good swimming.
Jack Simpson, the West District champion, 3rd at the summer meet, going still very nicely indeed. Won't want that gap to really increase very much. So slightly over half a second.
I think Barney's made another move.
Looks like it. He's just tried to pick the pace up again, so
breaking him.
Jack
See if he does or not.
Doing his best to respond.
Great race in fourth here. We'll see that on the way back in a minute, but you've got Fraser Tetlow in 6, Panos Angelikasis in 7, and Aidan Turner in 1. So 8:45.03 at the head though. Look at that. There's nothing between those three swimmers for fourth. And I think Barney, he's just gone a 33.2.
Well, he's certainly just tried to up the pace a little bit to try and shake off Jack.
It's not worked though.
Not quite gone 2/3, but if he can just open up a gap over the next couple of 100 metres again, that just might ease that little bit breathing space for the latter half of the race.
Jack went faster in that 50. He really isn't going to let him get away, so I think Barney's going to have to. He's still pushing away though, isn't he? Great swimming from the 15-year-old Mount Kelly swimmer. He's in on a 16:53, so if he gets down in those 16:10-ish, 16:15, that's a great improvement for him. So 9:51.51. As next turn is going to be 2/3 of the way there.
If anything, Jack Simpson has responded and still looks extremely strong.
And they turned almost identical there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And poor Anthony Davis has got stuck sort of in no man's land between the lead pack of 2 and the following pack of 3. And Barney 10:24.88.
There's 0.4 of a gap between the two.
Kind of feel this is going to the wire, don't you?
Yeah.
And out in the battle for fourth, it looks like Aidan Turner, the new 13-year-old Newcastle swimmer, out there in lane 1, is just pulling away from Fraser and Panos. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But nothing really separating Barney and Jack Simpson. 10:58.17.
He's picked up a wee bit there. Let's see if Jack Simpson is going to let him increase that gap. I wouldn't expect so.
Gotta say, Barney is absolutely really gutsing this one out. Every other 100 or every 200s or so, he's just testing, just probing Jack Simpson. Have you got more push? And at the moment, Jack's saying yes, I have, but every time he does it, you just feel like Barney just getting the better of him. It looks a bit like that this time.
There's about a second in it at the moment.
It's not got to a second yet, and it is very, very close to that. But then Jack comes back again, and he has.
Well, again, virtually back together.
12:05.26.
Less than half a second.
Who says 1500s are boring?
I certainly haven't. I've never said 50. I always think 15 and 800s are the most, or can certainly be the most exciting races to watch. Fantastic tactics in the race.
Jack Simpson has taken the lead for the first time since about the second 100 of this race. And he does. 12:39.12. So that's at 1200. 300 to go. And they're starting to catch up and overtake. Will they catch the rest of the field by the time they get to the end of the race? There's a chance they will.
I think we might have another change. Either again, Barney has responded. Okay, so you're sticking with me. Let's see if I can pull away again. He's about half a second faster there than Jack.
Barney's gone again. Oof. And they are slowly reeling in out here in lanes 7 and 8. Panos, Angelakis and Kyle Mitchell. We do wonder whether Barney's... Oh, I'm giving up predicting whether Barney's going to break Jack, because it's not happened yet. 13:45.42.
Still 0.4 between the two.
200 to go. They'll look at these cards now, and they'll only have
225 out in that turn. As you say, 200 to go when they come down. Jack Simpson virtually level now with Barney Ryder. Still advantage with the Mount Kelly 15-year-old. It's half a second. That's probably the key bit. The next 50 to 100 metres, you don't want that gap to increase.
And it is, look at it. All of a sudden, Barney has just said 200 to go, I'm off. And can Jack respond, as he has done pretty much every other time that Barney has threatened to pull away? Let's see where they are here. Oh, it's over a second and a half.
Well, he's found over a second in that last 50. And the game is certainly up for grabs in this one now.
So he was he went 33-1 in that one. Jack went slightly slower, 34-16. Does look like he's maybe broken him. That's Andy Figgins pushing Jack on as they approach the 1400, sorry. 15-12, it's back again, look at that.
He's picked up a little bit, it's still over a second though. There's 100 metres to go. He's got to fly down the final 100. I kind of half wonder whether he's got enough in the tank. You give it everything, but I just fancy Barney, don't you, Tony?
I think so.
Still a body length in it. I think the Mount Kelly boy has got his tactics spot on here.
Here's the bell. 15:58.63. Got to say, this has been a fantastic display of 1500 metre swimming from both of these boys, but Barney, 15-year-old from Mount Kelly, has really swum it so well. He has finally broken Jack Simpson's resolve. 200 to go. He pushed him once more and Jack couldn't respond. And 52.81 in that last 50, and as he comes into the wall, you'd think he's just started his race. 30.70, 16.29.
Well, I was hoping he'd get under that 16.30 at the turn and crack his swim.
Both of those boys coming in with nice PBs. 24 seconds for Barney, 8 seconds for Jack. That's a really, really good race there. Watch out, viewers. Robert's going to give you your third and final lesson on how the club abbreviations, so don't go and get a cup of tea now. You've got to wait for that.
I've already given you a wee hint about lane 7 in the next one, South Lanarkshire. So what are the codes, folks, that you're looking for?
WUSL, something like that.
It's
no. Well.
We have Kai Connolly from City of Glasgow, which is West District in lane 8. And can you think of that one?
No, you're going to have to tell me, Robert.
We also have Ben McLaughlin in 6 from Geary. I did tell you what the Geary one was.
I know you did, Robert.
And you've forgotten already.
No, it's GH. GH.
Well, that's 2 letters, yeah.
Got to be an N in there somewhere as well.
There's an N.
And it's the first one that's thrown me.
Yeah, you have NGHX is Geary.
That's the one.
And USLX South Lanarkshire.
That's the one.
And there we have it. WCG City of Glasgow, Kai Connolly. USX Struan Bennett. US being University of Stirling.
Where would we be without you, Robert? Thank you very much.
I have my uses. So Andy Figgins and Al McGowan beside him will be still there.
They've had a hard event. They've had somebody in every single one of these.
It's Scott Fleming in 7 they're looking at. Oh, look at all the swimmers, but they will concentrate on the man in lane 7. In 1, Nathan Chapman, Mount Kelly. 2, William Shepherd, Perth City. 3, Struan Bennett, University of Stirling. 4 is Luke Hornsey from the East Lothian swim team. 5, Josh Denham from Newcastle. Out very strongly in that yellow cap. Ben McLaughlin from Geary. 7, Scott Fleming, South Lanarkshire. And 8, Kai Connolly, City Glasgow. 6:09 is the entry time for Luke Hornsey. You can see.
I hope Ben realises this is a 1500.
Yeah, you can see lanes 4 and 5 don't look as though they're doing very much. Looking very, very relaxed in this stroke.
Yeah, that's Josh Denham from Newcastle and Luke Hornsey from East Lothian. Luke Hornsey, probably the favourite for this, I would think. He's in the fastest entry time. He's a junior national squad member. Won at Snags, 3rd at the winter meet overall last year. It does show how the pace has shifted this year. And he won East Districts and North Districts as well, but he's got a good pedigree here, 1:31.45. And he's got a lovely stroke, but at the moment it's not him, it's Josh Denham and Ben McLaughlin who are taking out this one. Ben was 3rd behind.
It's an interesting contest that we've got this one.
Yeah.
Luke, Ben and Scott.
Exactly. So Luke won national age groups earlier in the year. Scott Fleming was 2nd and Ben was 3rd, so maybe some revenge to be had here, but we will see. Early doors. And I think last week, a couple of weekends ago, there was East District, and Luke Hornsey paced that really nicely. He just slowly ramped the time up. I think he almost negative split it. If he didn't, it was very, very close. 2:36.91. Still pretty close here. Got Scott Fleming in 7 and Kai Connolly, the youngster, in lane 8. He's national age group champion in his age category as well. Junior team, national team member, as is Scott Fleming. So it's a pretty good field of Scottish age group distance swimming. It's now Josh Denham, who's the only Scot, along with Nathan Chapman, non-Scots, I'd say. 3:09.29.
So obviously Ben McLaughlin, having been 3rd in national age groups behind both Scott and Luke, has had maybe an opportunity to swim at this event in between April and now, because slightly improved time over Scott Fleming, which means that Scott's got 3 lanes to look over and see what Luke Hornsey's doing.
And he's doing pretty much exactly the same as him at the moment.
Yeah, both boys
1300 separating them.
Are not together as they were at Snags, and the 2 lanes next to one another. And we also have in this one, this being the fastest of the 3 heats today, with the very fastest heat being swum tonight. No juniors that are 16 or under in that final this evening. So this effectively is the junior title for grabs.
Absolutely.
So Ben, Scott and Luke are probably the 3 that we're looking for in this one.
Yep. And at the moment, Ben
McLaughlin.
Josh is leading, but Luke and Scott have to watch they don't let Ben get too far away, or they will forgo the opportunity to push for that Scottish junior title. 4:48.12.
Don't discount Kai Connolly.
No.
15-year-old. Over on the far side, we don't want to exclude everyone, because we have William Shepherd in lane 2. Perth City's a wee bit further back, but He is
as close to Luke as Luke is to Ben. So,
yeah, so he is still in the mix. But Hornsey just beginning to maybe make a move here as we're approaching the 500 metre mark.
It's good to hear from Josh. He's the 17-year-old Newcastle swimmer. He's really pushing them on. That's them at the 500 mark.
So there's less than a second between Luke Hornsey, Scott Fleming, Kai Connolly. And maybe they're wondering, right, that's who I need to worry about. And they're maybe allowing Ben McLaughlin just to make a move, an early move, and jump ship.
5:48.92. So that 5:16 at the third of the way through. So multiply that by 3. You've got sub 16 minutes. Have I got that right?
Somewhere around that.
15:45, 15:50 odd.
Maybe just a smidgen below the 16-minute mark.
So
Ben McLaughlin has roughly 3.5 second advantage over the chasing pack. Luke Hornsey, Scott Fleming, who've just made a little move to try and get away from Kai Connolly. He's a year younger. Kai will do his best to try and stick with them. Kai Connolly, he is also the Scottish National Age Group champion, but at the 15-year-old age group. Another lad who does a wide variety of events. So the leader, 6:52.22, has quite a good advantage over Ben McLaughlin of some 7 seconds now.
Yeah, I think
Scott Fleming is 3 1/3 seconds or so behind. Hornsey a further second back.
Well, it's looking like Josh has got this one under control. I wouldn't say he's definitely won it, but he's certainly got to be firm favourite at this 700 mark. Coming up to halfway at the next turn. He looks good though, doesn't he? Josh Denham in on a 6:13. He's definitely pacing well under that at the moment, so let's hope he can keep that going. And it definitely looks like Ben McLaughlin is consolidating that second place in the race and first Scottish junior. So there we go, halfway, 7:56.45. So yeah, under the...
Scott Fleming making a move, I think.
Does look like it.
On Ben McLaughlin.
And Luke's trying to go with him. So I think Josh is looking to get under that 16 minutes. I think he's definitely on pace for it if he can keep this going.
Kai Connolly just dropped back now, and William Shepherd also a fair way back. So I think the race for the junior title very much between Ben McLaughlin, Scott Fleming, and don't discount Luke Hornsey. He's a second back on Scott Fleming, who is just under 3 seconds back on Ben McLaughlin.
So it's 2.5 and 3.5 second gap between them. Scott's definitely trying to move back, isn't he? You can see him just kicking a little bit more. So Josh Denham 9:08.2. So that's
Luke Hornsey just I think realises that he needs to try and pick the pace up in this approaching final third of the race.
It's a couple of 32s there from Luke. So the H Districts recently did negative split.
Well, Luke Hornsey's certainly beginning to just pick this up. And, it surprised me if a couple of 100 metres further on we're upsides almost Ben McLaughlin. The other two are, I think, just closing that a little bit more on Ben McLaughlin.
Yeah, that was a second quicker in that 50 from Luke compared to Ben. And that they've really come back at him. Scott and Luke have done a bit of a double team, and
you kind of find that Luke Hornsey and Scott Fleming once again having to have another contest against one another.
Yeah,
it's a regular feature.
So Luke is now approaching Josh Denham pace.
Ben McLaughlin, it looks as though he's just run out of wind after the halfway mark.
That's the 1,000 for Josh, 10.37, 32.2 there. Luke Hornsey a 32.3, Scott Fleming a 32.7. So all of a sudden, within the space of a couple of hundred metres, Luke has turned a 5 metre deficit into a 5 metre gain. Yep, so 11.09.51 for Josh.
This is where Scott Fleming will really need to try and keep with Luke Hornsey. I think Luke Hornsey's just been biding his time, he's maybe accepted. I'm not going to be challenging Josh Denham. He's gone out very strongly. I can't live with that pace. I'll just keep my pace, which he's probably been thinking, right, 16.09, let's try and get close to 16 minutes today.
11.41.7 for Josh. 1100. So
Josh Denham, some 15 seconds or so clear.
Yeah, I think he and Luke are now swimming pretty much the same pace.
Yeah.
It's just that Josh Denham's doing that about 15 seconds ahead of Luke. 12.13.92. That was a fast 50 there for Josh. Just picked up the pace a little. You can see the end nearing in sight. And I think Luke has not broken Scott. He's still
a couple of seconds.
Yeah, so it's still there, but I think Scott's going to have to really dig in to counteract this momentum from Luke. So it's Josh, 12.46.47. 1200. Another 65 for Josh.
You can also see Ann Dixon with her clipboard in the middle there, trying to give William Shepherd plenty of encouragement. There's a second and a half still between the two.
Yep. Just to remind everybody, the excitement doesn't even end at the end of these 1500s, because there is a swim off to come at the end of this. So 13.19.08 for Josh at the 12.50.
Find out what the gap is very shortly between Luke and Scott. Well, it's still about a second and a half.
Yeah.
Scott Fleming trying desperately just to stick with Luke Hornsey. Both Andy and Alan giving Scott plenty of encouragement from that far side. And the man's doing pretty well to keep with Luke. Well, 200 to go for both those boys when they come down. Scott Fleming might just have closed the gap a fraction, but Luke Hornsey, I'm sure, still got plenty in the tank.
They're all picking up the pace now. You can see them all.
It's a fraction faster for Scott Fleming, but he needs not just a fraction, he needs to find about 0.4 every 50 now.
14.24.11 for Josh at 13.50. 32 for him. Scott and Luke are really pushing each other on. They're definitely swimming around about the same pace as Josh Denham, almost exactly the same pace. They've just as each other actually.
Yeah, look at Scott virtually on the same pace. So a second and a half. I can't see Scott Fleming pulling back second and a half with 150 to go the way Luke Hornsey's going at the moment.
Yeah. but he's given it a good shot.
Yeah, indeed. Cornsey, as you can see, just going out of the picture. Our leader in lane 5, Josh Denham. As you come down the pool with Josh going up the way in lane 4 in the black cat and lane 7 in the blue cat.
Comes the bell.
Scott Fleming.
15:28.98.
Well, can he come back extremely strongly and get under the 16-minute mark?
Got to hope for that. He's
I'd
31
like to hope
point.
so.
Come on, Josh. Give it all you've got in this last. Oh, come on. Looking tired, but hardly surprising.
16:13.4 entry time. Smash that. But come on, get the legs going, keep working.
Oh,
it's just going to be outside. Just outside.
Oh, it's equal. 16
bang
minutes.
on 16.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
I've never ever seen a swimmer bang on a 16 or bang on a 17. Scott Fleming.
Still a great swim though.
Flying down the final finish. You're going to get second place, just ahead of Scott Fleming.
Scottish junior champion there for Luke. Just over his entry time. Scott Fleming comes in just behind him, and 17 seconds improvement for him on his entry, so that's a great swim there. Ben McLaughlin also improving by 4 seconds.
Scott Fleming, I'm sure, okay, he's only about a second and a half back, but at least psychologically he'll think, right, Luke was a bit ahead of me 6 months, 9 months ago. I've clawed that back.
Absolutely.
I'm making progress, and that's all you hope for. And he's a nice guy, Scott.
Great 1500s there.
So as you can see on the screen,
Duncan, what events to swim on?
MPCX again on the code, being per city, Midlands district in Scotland, and we have swim off for the butterfly. I think this might well be the C final. Laura McInnes from Heart of Midlothian and Becky Watson. Might be Borough of Stockton. English-based swimmer. So the Heart swimmer in 4. Borough of Stockton swimmer with the silver cap in lane 5. Both girls almost together. Off the turn, there's little in it. Important to get plenty of momentum off the wall, and both girls still very much together. Now Laura McInnes in 4, coming through strongly.
They went
inside the final few metres. It's going to be on the touch.
At the 50, 29.61 there for Becky, and 29.67 for Orla. So it is all to play for. They went a 64.87 in the heat, and they've swim off for anything to go by. They are going to go much faster than that in this one, and it is absolutely nothing between them really. Orla maybe just has the edge as they come down in this final 25, but Becky is not giving up, and this is going to kick right to the wall. As you'd expect, nothing could split them in the heat, and there's not a lot going to split them on this swim off. And as they got the finish, and it is Orla 103.29, so my goodness, that is a second and a half improvement on her entry time.
That would have been B finals for both girls.
Yeah, both would have been B final if they had swum that in the heat, but hey, they've managed to do it in the swim off. 103.29, that is a fantastic swim for the 15-year-old Orla McInnes from Hearts. Becky just edged out 103.54, but a fantastic way to finish this afternoon's swimming. So that is us concluded for the afternoon, Robert.
Thank you, Tony. Great.
Thank you as well.
Thanks everyone for joining us on the live stream from Edinburgh. That's the end of session 5. We're back here. Coverage starts, I believe, at 25 past 5 for finals, which get underway at 5:30.
Right.
So from Tony Rose and myself, Robert Taylor, thanks again, and we'll hopefully see you in about an hour or so.
Exactly.